It's off the knee. It's going to pain a little bit. Oh, this is going to pain a little bit too, but it wasn't intentional, and Shati knows it.
We did see the ball keeping low in the first game as well on a couple of occasions, and that's something the batters will have in mind. It can also create a sense of doubt while playing the shots.
She's been practicing the seam-up deliveries more often than not, is what I was told by the coach. Now operating in the power plays. Aina is totally up for it. Another cricketer whom we've seen transition, isn't it? The way she was in 2018, 2019 in the qualifiers. Two more experience this time around.
Yes, it's natural progression for a player. When you're in the circuit for a while, you'd really want to lift your game each season. And that's where you can't stop doing the drills. This time looks to go big on it, just beats the fielder as well. A couple of runs, two from the bat, but signs of aggression early on here by Bangladesh.
What an attempt that was at point, but yes, it was in the air. Would have had her heart in her mouth. But just out of reach. Oh, very well done to get to the ball in the first place. That's a lovely effort, but 2 runs at the end of it. Aina Hamiza Hashim has got the one that comes back in as well. Oh, good ball. I think it's got to do something with her arm speed. That doesn't change, but still she's able to deliver a slower delivery.
That can be very deceptive as well if you're a batter. There are bowlers with innocuous actions whom you really can't pick.
Yeah.
And she's one such bowler.
And off late, with the game getting truncated, I think the coaches don't mind. They treat it as mystery. There's no mystery in this one. It's flushed from the middle of the bat, a couple of bounces, and it'll kiss the ropes.
Oh yes, first boundary here for Bangladesh. Talk about aggression, they're not missing out on the scoring opportunities as well. A back of the lane delivery that ended up being a little short. And Shati decided to use the long handle to best effect. And the good news for the batters is that
Rightly called, Mikhail. And this was asking to be hit as well. She could just go through and swing the bat. Loves. What a come. Was floated in.
Bowling right arm round. Boleh bola, boleh bola. Boleh bola, boleh bola. Jatuhkan bola dia. Bagus ni, bagus ni. Belah sini ya, belah sini ya. Belah sini, bola, bola, go.
Have better opportunity of trapping her in front. But how do you look at it, Mikhail?
So what's interestingly, she's coming across the wicket and bowling around it. So it's coming at an angle for the left-handed batter. So that's why she's prompted the play towards the leg side. Good fielding, very good running as well in the middle. Good all-round cricket by both sides. It's coming to that angle at which Mahira is coming. For the left-handed batter, it becomes a natural shot-making option.
Absolutely right. Couldn't collect it cleanly, Julia. But Mahira she's known as someone who's a fighter, who can make a comeback. Dancing down the track. Bit of work to do. Very well done in the end.
Gave the charge on that occasion. Nicely fielded. Had to put in the dive, put body behind the ball. More importantly, she certainly saved 3 extra runs. You've got to be sharp in the field. We saw that in the previous game. Sri Lanka has certainly made a difference with their catching and run-outs.
Yes, even though they had to claw themselves back over the line eventually, but their fielding effort is what brought them in the game in the first place. Otherwise, UAE would have run away with 120 perhaps, and that could have been more than enough a total, even though one side is very small. And these are the conditions that they're battling, and it's such a treat to watch young cricketers adapt so quickly. Now, out of all the 8 teams that you see here, which team has travelled better in terms of adaptability? The ones that you've seen. Malaysia, perhaps?
Quite certainly, yes. Malaysia has. I felt Sri Lanka early in the day as well. Felt like they were playing in home conditions. They used the slow ball bowlers to good effect, and they made an impact. Oh, that could be very lucky to get away. Just need to wait for the signal. Seems to be a legal delivery. Oh, it hasn't been given a no ball. Yes, it has.
It's absolutely a no ball, and I think Rubia is kicking herself because she deserved a boundary for it, is what she believes. And had she gone through with the shot, and I feel she just ended up checking it in the end. Oh no, she's actually hit it. There's a deliberate attempt to keep the ball down as well. And off the free hit, she'll collect a single. Yeah, for the Associate Nations, perhaps Malaysia. Just going back to our discussion, I'm very impressed by what Hong Kong did as well. UAE were excellent in Uganda and Namibia. Capricorn series was such a treat to watch.
Again, the intent is to find the boundaries here. Bangladesh don't want to settle for singles at the moment. Shati 10 in 9, Rubia 8 in 7, so nice partnership here between the openers. Aina Hamiza has conceded 11 in 9 deliveries.
Low full tosses are difficult to put away, isn't it? Couple of runs. No, they've got to stick with the single. What a good throw! Just on top of the stumps.
Brilliant effort in the deep, and much to the applause of all the fielders as well. Certainly saved 1 run over there. You want such performances. Myra, they had long gone with that brilliant effort. another single. What's the safe score, Suhas, on this surface, batting first?
There isn't one. And I think that's the beauty of this tournament going ahead. I feel that it's going to remain the same entire tournament. But come to think of it, one set batter from the other end, not the end that we're playing with. Oh, they almost barged into each other. That's definitely worth another look. 3 overs gone, 23 without a wicket, but that single was very, very difficult. Not because the ball was near a fielder, but because this single was taken with friendly fire. Look at this, left indicator, right indicator, and luckily there was no pickup. 23 without a wicket after 3. Aina has gone for 14 in her 2 overs. Would be interesting to see if the captain persists. Captain Mas. In 2021, when she was the vice captain and Winifred and Doresingham was a skipper, she mentioned at that time, oh, this could be taken. And it is taken. She's pounced it on the second attempt. But it doesn't matter if it's a second attempt or no. What matters is that it's stuck. Yusrina with a beauty of a take. And the catching prowess of Malaysia that they found in the previous series versus Nepal just continues as they pack their bags and land here in Hong Kong.
And the control she maintained after impact with surface was spectacular. Look at the jubilation. Look at the delight. Another spectacular catch. We saw one earlier in the day. Chaya Mughal, a cotton bowled. And now Yusrina, you beauty, what a catch. Rubia departs for 10 in 10. Bangladesh lose their first wicket, 23 for 1.
Right arm over, 5 balls to go.
Shobhana Chaudhary makes her way to the middle in the 4th over with the team at 23 for 1. It's been a good start. They just lost their way. But what a catch. Brilliance in the field by Malaysia. Short and wide, put away, nicely fielded. That should have fetched them some runs. I'll tell you what, that catch is something the Malaysian team will watch on loop and replay all day. Much better, quicker, straighter. That's how you need to mix your deliveries. Never let the batter to settle.
And the fact that she gets through the overs quickly as well is a treat to watch. Mahira Ismail. Now Shobhana Mostri. Oh, very well played. Straight to the fielder. She's not shying away from juggling a little bit with her footwork. Dancing a little bit. But eventually playing the right line.
A little tickle towards fine leg, another single. May have just got some glove on it. So Shobhana's off the mark. Brings Shati on strike. She will have to hold fort.
She's decided to go for the big shot. There is a fielder in the deep. And it's straight down her throat. The second wicket's gone. Bangladesh were looking good for 23 without a wicket. And suddenly in a span of a run, 2 wickets.
And Ismail strikes in a second over. Shati departs. And I'll tell you what, had she not given the charge on this delivery, The ball would have been at a perfect height. Just felt, but just overcommitting into it, she got into an uncomfortable position. We'll take a look at it once again. Height got too much on her because she gave the charge, only to find the fielder at mid-wicket. Another very fine catch by a Malaysian fielder, and they are delighted. They are taking all their catches, and all opportunities coming their way. Bangladesh are in deep trouble. After 4, it's 24 for 2.
Shati Rani departs for a runner ball 11, 24 for 2.
Leg and stump. Yeah.
Lota Mondol,
Towards you, slightly.
the left-hander.
Away. Little away. Slightly. Slightly. Thoda. Leg.
It's a very disappointing end
Coming right arm over.
when you
Change
get
in bowling.
pulled out like that
Change in bowling.
of a
Right arm.
delivery that's so harmless. Elisa is all set to go, but the batter isn't. Shobhana is not happy with somebody walking in front of the side screen. Yes, Elisa. It's beautifully done. Just a punch of the back foot. The outfield is the 12th fielder still.
Oh yes, but the placement on this occasion by Shobhana, just brilliant. And the timing on it. These days bats, Suhas. Bats make it even more easier. Again gives the charge on this occasion. Takes it on. Converts it rather into a half volley. Taking nothing away from the batters. These days bats certainly help. Particularly when you hear the sound and you say, wow, she really middled it.
Yeah, the music to the ears, isn't it? Especially for a batter, when someone can middle it, that's the best music. And it's all about creating an orchestra with your innings when you watch the highlights. Let's just put it this way. Talking about, oh, there was something on it. Oh, Will! That's a missed opportunity. We were talking about the catches being taken, but not on this occasion with a person in gloves. She has a webbing too, but I think the ball escaped her clasp and rolled over her spine. Look at this. That's a genuine edge, and somehow it turned into trickery. Puts it down. I think for a long period of time she was searching where the ball was, all while she was able to feel it. The overcompensation story continues, Mikhail.
And that to the big wicket of Lata Mandal. Could have easily been 27 for 3 with Lata walking back without scoring. We've seen brilliance in the field. We've also seen some mediocre efforts as well. Nevertheless, they'll have to move on from that episode. A good start here for Elisa. She's kept things tight. She's just asked questions to the batters up front.
We can hope we can chase that target, but at the moment we are doing well. I'm sure our girls will continue this momentum to strictly under 100.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, coming from Malaysia, you know, stranger to the heat, very hot and sultry conditions here.
Yeah.
But, you know, not just about the weather, talk to us about, you know, what you make of the surface and the playing conditions right now.
Actually, we are not worried about weather. We are here to play cricket, good cricket actually. And this is a good opportunity for any team, I feel. This kind of tournament organized from ACC. This is especially for the youngsters to come up. And yeah, this is very good tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And one last question, of course. You had that series against Nepal right before this.
Yeah.
And Aina Najwa in particular, there was some fantastic fielding, some really good catches. And, fielding, of course, is very, very important in the shortest format. Where are you guys right now as a fielding unit?
Actually, our fielding is good. Actually, Aina Najwa is a wicket keeper, second wicket keeper. But I think she's used to dive here and there. But that same thing she did when she's fielding. Our fielding unit is at the moment is very good, doing well. And against Nepal also we played well. That five matches, we lost 3 matches against Nepal. But for me, we did the well in that tournament.
Gauri, thank you so much for joining us. Suhas, Khyati, Comms, back to you.
Thank you very much.
No, it's Mikhail. Kathy will join in just a moment, Jay. But thank you so much. It was very insightful. And as always, it's great fun to talk to Kodikara, the coach. End of the over. After 5, Bangladesh, they experience a couple of stutters. 29 for 2.
Lata Mondal on the strike. Shobhan. Oh, it was a great shot straight in the hands of the fielder. It was a very good piece of fielding, but they successfully took 1 run.
Partnership is the key here for Bangladesh. They've lost 2 quick wickets. Lata has just been given a life. The Malaysian fielders are converging around the bat and are very sharp, throwing themselves. And they've been tidy with the ball as well. Short and wide, just as I say that. This time it beats the fielder. Work to do, a couple of runs. And they'll settle for 2. Just the right time to hand over the mic to Jaidan Singhani.
So far we have seen great piece of fielding. This was the first misfield on the point. Till now they have been showcasing their fielding skills. Excellent use of feet, and 2 fielders missed it, and it gone towards the boundary. Oh, it got stopped because of the slow outfield, but they managed to take 2 runs.
Khyati, I tell you what, you're not the only person who thought that was a boundary. But no, like you pointed to earlier, that slow outfield, because of that overnight rain, keeps the batters down to 2. Mahira to continue bowling the last over of the power play. Good, fast and flat. She's got that round arm action as well, Mahira.
At times it is very risky for the batter as well to understand where the ball will travel. Not very orthodox kind of a action.
Straight back to the bowler. And that should be the end of the over as well. They've done well in the power play. They've kept Bangladesh down to 35 for 2. You have 2 relatively new batters at the crease as well. Sobhana Mostari, 5 of 9. Lata Mondal. I feel like she's been around forever in that Bangladesh setup. Captaining the team today. Undefeated on 6.
Yes, exactly. Shobhana made her women's one-day international debut for Bangladesh against South Africa women on 14th of May 2018. She was named in the Bangladesh women for the series against South Africa. And she debuted her T20 in 2019 qualifier in Scotland.
And it's going to be Aisha Elisa to continue from the softball end. Usually bowls with a new ball, I beg your pardon. Right on the money, straight to cover. And And so far in the first game in both innings, we saw a bit of a slowdown, both from the UAE and Sri Lanka A after the power play.
Yes, exactly. If we see the closely, that the pitch is behaving the same way, the way it was behaving in the morning. But the kind of fielding efforts, it's commendable. There was no need to play such shots when ball is going away. But let's see if the umpire gives a white ball signal. No, it's not a white ball.
Yeah, it looked like a drop catch to me as well. Juan Julia diving to her right. It has to go down as a chance. Like you said, Khyati, just chasing that wide one. And I wonder, Juan Julia, maybe she needs to take a step back. Again into play. In fact, no, that's Boulder. Third wicket down for Bangladesh A. Big celebration from Aisha Elisa. And look at that, Khyati, 36 for 3. We're halfway through the 7th over.
They started off really well. Let's see this out. It's amazingly, as we all say, we know that you miss, I hit. The same kind of showcasing her bowling skills. Lata Mondal back to the pavilion for 6 runs in 8 balls with a strike rate of 7.0.
We saw in that replay, just indicating to the new batter coming to the crease, Aisha Elisa, she's getting a little bit of movement. It's a really good delivery from Aisha Elisa. And I gotta say, I've been following Malaysian cricket for a very long time. Aisha Elisa, probably the single most improved bowler in Malaysian cricket.
I can also see the kind of fielding they have improved in few years. I'm sure that the board is helping them and they are on the right track.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure speaking to their coach, Thushara Kodikara, more affectionately known as just Cody. But for now, another left-hander at the crease, Murshida Khatun, walking in at number 5. Her first delivery. Oh, a bit of movement into the left-hander this time. Aisha Elisa right on the money. 1 for 6 so far, 2 balls left in her second over. And that's why Murshida Khatun is here. Missed it. Should have been playing forward. Should have got a large stride forward.
Murshida Khatun, she has got 5 50s on her name, on her side. Let's see what she brings on the table today.
She's also a relatively regular feature in the senior Bangladesh team in their first 11.
I'm sure, yes. Because the kind of batting she's doing, and it seems that, that's again, she was trying to chase the ball. It is not required at this moment when your wickets are going. You need to have some patience, spend some time on the pitch, and then watch the behavior, and then you can, really progress towards the shots and the strokes.
36 for 3. They're going at just a shade over 5 runs and over. And we saw with that last delivery as well. Once again, the ball keeping a little bit low. And Khyati, I wonder if it's more than just low bounce, if we're actually getting variable bounce on this surface.
Yes, definitely. At this kind of a pitch, a bowler needs to use quick arms, but they're not putting any effort. Or there was a good tricky single. Good coordination between both the batters. So in T20 cricket, Jay, I would say that this kind of improvisation and is important. It really required to rotate the strike.
And that's something Sri Lanka A did really well towards the end of their chase. The reason they won, a big reason, they were converting those 1s into 2s. And just maintaining a low dot ball percentage as well. And every time I think about low dot ball percentages, I think of Beth Mooney. She's the best in the business when it comes to just being busy, turning the strike over, but she also finds those boundaries.
Yes, definitely. You need to learn that art. And there's a fielder there. Goes for 2 runs. 1 run for throw, definitely. So yes, definitely if you want to keep busy the scoreboard, definitely you need to run first run fast so that you can keep rotating the strike, and also you should be keeping the fielders busy.
Driven through the offside. And she moves on to 4 with that cover drive, Murshida Khatun. It's been a good spell though from Mahira Izzati, the off spinner. She had a really good series as well against Nepal, both with bat and with ball. She's got 2 balls left. Fired in, edged away. I think that was deliberate, in fact. Splits that gap between backward point and gully. And again, just slowing up in this outfield. But look, they get back for 2 nonetheless. Sobhana, a very important player here for Bangladesh.
If you see the field setting, 5 fielders on the off side, 4 on the leg side. Seems to be pretty good field setup. I would say that it's a defensive field. Steered it towards the short fine leg area. There's no run. After the completion of 8 overs, Bangladesh is 42 for 3.
End of a fantastic spell as well. Mahira Izzati, 2 for 21 in her 4 overs. I tell you what, she's one heck of a competitor as well, Mahira Izzati. She's going to have a role to play with the bat, probably coming in at around number 4, number 5. That's been the pattern in recent times. A change in bowling. A little more off spin. This time it's going to be Nikitila coming into the attack from the softball end.
As the overs are progressing, I can see the body language going down. I think that they should use their their energy wisely so that they can keep it up till 20th over. They're still trying to rotate the fielders, adjust the fielders.
First ball for Nikitila. Fuller delivery, driven. But there's a fielder in the deep. Oh, look at that. Marcelisa, an absolute firecracker in the field. But I put the markers on her. We're going to have overthrows. Just one overthrow there. Happens all the time. Every time I praise a player, something happens.
I think then you should stop doing that. Malaysian coach is going to kill you then.
We've already spoken about the Jay Dansingani curse. Every time I come into the comm box, the run rate drops. It's happening again.
Yeah. It's a good delivery. It's a played along the ground. 1 run easily taken. Excellent piece of fielding. The fielders are again charged up. This looks great. Piece of cricket. Smart captaincy.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I loved that catch as well from Yusrina Yaqub. It opened the floodgates for Malaysia. It was their first wicket. They've taken 2 more. And they're really putting on a bit of a challenge. That's a good shot. But there's a fielder in the deep. Takes it on the bounce. But I like this from Malaysia. And it's typical Malaysia as well. Bowling tends to be their strong suit. Fielding as well, like Cody referred to 15 minutes ago.
Yes, it's really good to see the cricket evolving this way. And I would really like to thank ACC to organize such events to give the exposure to all the girls. It's a sweep shot, but there's a fielder. A good piece of fielding. Sent the batters back to the crease. think this kind of cheering up really helps everyone to be on the toes.
Yeah, they've actually got a lot of energy, Malaysia. I'll get back to that in a second. Finds the fielder, finds Marcelisa this time. But yes, every time before a game, before any game, they've always got that music pumping. They've got that heavy bass, trying to get some energy into the legs. And they're also very used to playing in hot weather.
And they're very athletic also. A great shot along the ground. There's a fielder there. Easily taken one run. I think they should look for more gaps so that they can, go for 2 runs at least. After Bangladesh, Shobana playing on 10, Mushida playing on 7.
Khyati, I gotta say, it's been one heck of a start so far to the ACC women's team. Not sure Bangladesh is better to double figure. No one quite won yet. The Port Sobana is still enough. I wouldn't say she's got her eye in, but she's got a bit of a start here. The chain rolling left spin. Nudanya Shahada. Off spin, I beg your pardon. Lucky to get away with that one. It was on the legs. I would have got that slog sweep out. I would have tried to go aerial.
Good flight. Tried to stop it but misfielded. Easy single there from long off area. They're trying every bit of them to stop the ball. It's really commendable to watch such kind of fielding efforts by the Malaysian girls. Again towards it's a great shot. It's a boundary. There was no fielder, no women's land. Very safe area to play above the bowler.
And 50 up as well now for Bangladesh. 52 for 3. We're halfway through the 10th over. I'm so happy to announce we're going to be taking a drink after 3 deliveries. Oh, that's up in the air. She's mistimed it. Should be taken. Juan Julia makes no mistake. 4 wickets down now for Bangladesh. A boundary followed by a wicket. Malaysia, they storm back yet again. Nurdania Shahada with her first wicket. It's a big breakthrough as well, Khyati.
Yes, definitely. If you watch them, every now and then and every occasion, they're just picking up the wickets. I think as if they're going by plan A. If there is some boundary, they make the changes in the field, in their bowling, and then they take a wicket. Shobana Mostari going back to the dugout on 14.
And that's a huge wicket as well. One of the more experienced members in this Bangladesh A setup.
Yes, definitely. That's a big blow to the team. Now let's see whom they're sending. Whoever goes in needs to take, I think, the responsibility and spend some time in the middle where everything happens there. And it's a contest between bat and ball. Bangladesh inning, Shati 11 on 11, Rubia 10 on 10, Shobana 14 on 17, Lata Mondal 6 on 8, Murshida 8 on 13. She's still playing. It looks like Nahida will be the next one. It's a drinks break. 52 for 4 in 9.4 overs. They've already given 3 extra runs. It's a team hurdle time. I'm sure oh, it's a great catch by the player there in.
Yeah, that was a great catch from Yusrina Yaqub. Again, safe hands to pick up that second wicket. Check out this in swing. Oh, yeah. Put that in the highlights package. Aisha Elisa. And Noordania Shahada, perhaps a little bit lucky. A full toss. It was mishit. And Juan Julia with the gloves. You can see she's a little bit tired. We're all a little bit tired. We all deserve a drink, Khyati Galni.
Yes, definitely. I'm really looking for one. And I'm sure you're the local one, so you can arrange something.
Mate, I might be the local, but it's not supposed to be this hot in June. This is definitive proof that climate change is indeed man-made.
I think that Mikhail must have brought the summer from Mumbai.
We're back live. 2 balls left in the 10th over. It's a good start, right on the money. And Shorna Akhtar, one of the stars of that under-19 campaign for Bangladesh, walks in at number 6. She's got a lot of work to do as well. It's a good platform for her as well to show the national selectors what she can do. Last ball of the 10th. Turned away again, and this time she gets off the mark. It's only going to be a single. And after 10 overs, the score, Bangladesh 53 for 4. We're going to see a change in commentary. We've got Mikhail Vaswani and Suhas Vedam.
Well, thank you, Jay Dansinghani. Well, talking about me bringing some summer from Mumbai. Khyati, I must tell you, I stopped on the way to Chennai as well. And I brought that too over here. So it's Bombay plus Chennai. That's in Hong Kong. It's that hot over here. Hot and humid. 10 gone. It's 53 for 4. Malaysia right on top.
Just tells you how much Wang Kar-wai can romanticize Hong Kong in his movies. Watched his movies and came here. Mikhail, turn is a plenty.
We saw that in the first game as well. And in the second over, this surface certainly helping spinners, particularly the slow ball bowlers. Taylor drifts one down the leg. That'll be called a wide. She'll have to re-bowl it. But Malaysia have played their part so far, Suhas. To have almost half the side back in the dugout at the halfway stage, they've done a decent job.
Doesn't want to go chasing at it, and rightly so. Shorna picking and choosing the deliveries that she wants to hit. Did he expect her to dance down the track here? Did she, Mikhail? Now look at the reach. She can play a cross-batted shot by dragging it from outside off as well.
And that's what Shorna can do. But just coming back to your point, yes, these days bowlers do preempt batters' approach, and that's not a bad ploy.
Guides it in the gap. Beautiful. It looks very compact when a left-hander plays a grounded shot of that kind.
This one's taken on the full. Has been hit between long on and mid-wicket, and that will go for a 4. Much needed boundary. Shorna turning it on in the middle. They'll need a couple of more such hits to get going.
Nick Ratiela misses the mark completely. Shona doesn't want to miss out on the opportunity. Wonderful. Just love the placement. And also the fact that she didn't want to hit it hard. "61 for 4. And Atiel has got to land the ball in the first place. That's much better because she changed the pace at which she bowled too. We've got someone special to talk to from the Bangladesh side. Let's find out who.
For the moment, another juicy full toss at a very good height. All she had to do was find some placement on it and that'll go for another boundary. Very poor bowling and good striking as well. Murshida and Shorna are forging a very good association in the middle.
Leaking runs at the moment. One full toss for the right-hander, now to the left-hander. Result doesn't change. The region doesn't change. Murshida is loving it. 13 of 15. Now that she's got a start, she's looking good for a big one. 66 for 4 after 11. Let's find out who we have to talk to from the Bangladesh side.
Thank you so much, Suhas and Mikhail. Pleasure being joined by Bangladesh A's head coach and former Sri Lankan legend, Hashan Tilakaratne. Hashan, thank you so much for joining us. I got to say, you know, in the first 10 overs, 53 for 4. I don't think a lot of us expected that scoreline. What do you make so far of this effort so far from Bangladesh A?
Yes, considering the outfield is a bit slower, I think we are little about 8 to 10 runs short. But then again, we haven't played to our potential. Our top batters just threw their wickets away. I'm sure we learn by these mistakes and come back strongly in the next one. Yeah.
And just expanding on that point, you think in the first 10 overs, has it been an issue about shot selection, or what in your opinion has gone wrong in the first 10?
Yeah, as we all aware of, wicket is little slower than in the morning, but then again, I'm not looking for any excuses. But the shot selection also, as you said rightly, not up to the mark.
Big discussion so far in the first game and in the broadcast as well. Not just the weather conditions, but also the way the surface is playing and the outfield, like you mentioned. You know, what do you make of the conditions so far, both the weather-wise and in terms of playing?
Yeah, it's brilliant conditions. I mean, outfield bit on the slow side, but wicket looks a good one, and also a very good tournament for all the youngsters to at least show their true talent in this women's platform.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we all enjoy about the Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. It gives associates the chance to play with some full member players who are trying to fight their way into contention for the national team. But, you know, just coming back to this game, we have, I think, around 8 overs left after this. What do you expect in the last half of the innings, and what target are you aiming for?
At least if you can go get up to 120, would have been a good total, I suppose.
Great. Simple answer, straight answer. Thank you so much, Hashan.
Thank you.
And back to all of you in comms.
Well, thank you, Jay, and lovely listening to Hashan Tilakaratne. Certainly backing his girls to get the runs on the board. Stalwart for Sri Lankan cricket there. Former captain. Again, firmly struck. There's a lot of indecisiveness in the running at the moment between both these batters.
Just wondering, how did the bail lose its place at the non-strikers end?
That's an eye for detail, Suhas.
12 overs gone, 72 for 4. Would you call this a recovery or just poor bowling in between with 3 full tosses? like buffet bowling, which were put away by the righty, then lefty. Murshida especially has been on the lookout for anything that's even marginally in her zone.
Oh yes, I just feel somewhere in this passage of play, Malaysia have lost steam. They've begun well, they got those 4 wickets. And all of a sudden now, they've just not been able to capitalize on that momentum that they created early on.
You use the word momentum, and that's something that carries you forward in this particular format of the game. Oh well. Sometimes you just dream of a direct hit.
I just want to see the release. Look at the pick up and throw. How quickly the fielder released it.
That'll be wide, says umpire Gayatri. A very experienced umpire. I'm very impressed by what Aina did in the first over. Now she's losing her way. Can she make a comeback? Oh, that's going to trouble. When you cut hard. Might not be from the best part of the bat, but the result is as intended. Boundary.
It looked like Shorna was cutting a tree there. That much of a flash she gave that blade. Third up in the circle, and that was always going to be 4.
Jay wants to have a word with you. He's very particular about climate change.
At least make us feel happy, talk about some other places, weather conditions.
Yeah.
Like if you're in Mumbai, I feel playing bad.
Oh, it's going to be the same mistake there from Aina. When you bowl so many wides in the over, what happens is you get a little tired as the over progresses. Remember that, because it's going to be a long over. And also the captain's not going to befriend you anymore, because she's always got a watch to keep track of time.
Oh, she's drilled that. Look at that for connection. It wasn't a full delivery, it's just that it was a superb shot there by Shorna. And that's what she's been doing time and again, finding the boundaries and the big hits. That's a massive 6.
Oh, what a shot. You might be talking about that being the longer end, but that doesn't deter Shorna from going for the big shot, and she cleared it with ease in the end. A terrific hit, and no half measures whatsoever. Wanted to go through with that shot from the word go.
Once again, just goes to show how good this wicket has become over a period of time. Even the good length balls are going for big hits. And that's why if you spend time, crease occupation is the key. You get a good measure of the surface, then you can play through and across the line with ease.
It's become that kind of a wicket. Now the question that you asked me in the first stint becomes more valid. What's a good total? You got to revise that, because the surface is playing for the batter.
I'd want to believe at 85 for 4 in the 13th, they should still look at something close to 120, 130. That should be the pass score.
But Shorna striking it over 100 easily. I think it's on. And the best thing about these two girls is that they can do this as well. It's not just the boundary balls that they're worried about. Ones can be converted into twos with a cheeky nudge on the leg side. 13 overs later, 87 for 4.
Bukan ada seorang belakang. Sana.
20 overs of commentary, 2 bounds.
Aina to bowl a final over. She's conceded, beg your pardon, Suhada it is, into a third. 1 for 12. Single down to long off.
It looks like the Tigresses have done their homework. Bangladesh A have done their homework. They're not trying to attack Syuhada much, just milking the bowling. 13 balls, 13 runs, and a wicket. That's what Syuhada has produced. Shorna can change that if it's in her slot though. Much like this. Person in the deep will take it. Great boundary awareness. I hope the celebration ball also lands inside. Yes, it does. She was worried for a moment if it's going to land beyond. Catches being taken. Malaysia back to being their best.
Well, they have taken their catches this afternoon, the Malaysian girls. One too many here for Shorna. This time she chose the longer part of the boundary only to find the fielder. Another very good catch under pressure, let me tell you. Never easy. Big wicket here for Malaysia. Half the side back in the dugout. Shorna departs for 20 of 14. A gem of an innings. A little bit of a cameo. Good catch by Rihanna. 88 for 5 in the 14th.
Good delivery. I think that's the right pace to be bowling on this surface when you tease the batter till the last moment, especially if it's a new one.
Syuhada has made an impact this afternoon. Gets an outside edge on this. They're running the first run fast. And they'll come back for the second. Puts in the dive? I don't think so. It was needed.
I think the opponent expected a better throw than it was.
On most occasions, you want that one bounce throw coming in flattish.
Spoken like a keeper. The keeper of Broadcast 11 back in Al Amarat.
I need to take you back to that catch, Suhas.
Don't remind me of that.
One-handed stunner.
Stunner? You fell for the camera. You didn't need to fall or dive for that catch.
Don't tell me you'll be saying that the ball caught my hand rather than me going for the ball.
Yeah, one ball to go. No, that's much better. Even though there was there to be hit, Nahid has looked at the scorecard and not what the ball had to tell. Single will also mean she'll farm the strike. 91 for 5.
Change in bowling. Aisha. Coming right arm over. Aisha. Thank you. Coming right arm over.
.91 for 5 in the 15th. Oh, that's in the air and it's taken. Eliza strikes. She gets her second. Soft dismissal here. Nahida departs. Just closed the face of the bat too early on that. And it just lobbed into the bowler's hand.
Catching has been absolutely magnificent. Look at the effort and the belief that she can convert that into a catch. And sometimes the bowlers are the best fielders of their own bowling. Oh, what a good catch that was. Full marks for the fact that she believed that she can get there. 3 or 6 for Nahida Akhtar, who ended up checking the shot. Bangladesh lose another Tigress, 91 for 6.
That's leg. Coming right arm over. 4 balls to go.
What a performance here by the Malaysian bowlers and fielders. Bangladesh in 91 for 6 have just not been able to free their arms and dictate terms in the middle. Each time they try to do that, the Malaysian bowlers have struck.
And the catching has been magnificent. Van Julia would be the only one, would be the only erroneous example, but apart from that, the catching has been magnificent.
How many balls, ma'am? 3.
Rabea, 1 of 2. Murshida's 20 or 21. Murshida holds the key for a big finish. The revision and the target coming from you, perhaps. I'm still looking at 135 overs. You get around 30 runs. You're looking at 122. Not a bad total at all.
Oh yes, certainly a very, very formidable total, a competitive one. Something to give the bowlers to defend. Another single. And that's what Murshida is doing. She's just trying to take it to the deep end. The batters will need to revolve around Murshida.
What's the protection that Elisa's got on the field? Oh, very cheekily done. And it's going to trickle into the commentary box. Beautifully played. The fact that the pace was already provided by Elisa, placement is what it was begging for, and Rabea obliged.
Welcome runs here for Bangladesh at a time when they've just lost a few wickets. Such deliveries certainly serve as a confidence booster for them in the middle, particularly when you're a new batter. Rabea finding a boundary after 15 overs. It's 97 for 6.
Five overs left. 97 for 6. Single. She's thinking about a second, wisely decides against it. And I tell you what, you're not going to get a lot of 2s and 3s to this long on, long off region at the Argyle Street end. Very short boundaries. Aina Najwa fielding at long off right now. She took some absolute screamers in that series against Nepal. We've spoken about that before. Noordania Shohada into her last over. Cut away, good sound off the bat. But it's only going to be a single. Khyati, welcome back. 4.4 overs left. I'm going to put you on the spot. Score prediction, Khyati.
I think so. It will be around 135, somewhere around 135, I guess, the way they are playing. And as we can see that the boundaries are very difficult to score here. Oh, it's up in the air, but the fielder is there. Only 1 run has been taken.
It's a good stop from Yusrina Yaqub. She's had a really good day. Took that first catch as well. That resulted in that first wicket. And 100 up now for Bangladesh A. It's taken 15.5 overs. They're going at a good rate. Again, punched off the back foot. And once again, just a single. But no, I have to agree with you. That 130, 135 mark looking pretty likely from this situation. Murshida Khatun as well. Well set now, 23 off 24. Got a left-right combination. That's always useful.
Yes, definitely. It is very useful for the batting unit. And it's a cracking shot. What a sound. It goes for a boundary. There was no fielder there. And let me just tell you that Murshida needs to, if she can, she should play till the end as she's set. And let's see this shot again. What a sound of the bat. Straight into the gap. There was no fielder present. This kind of more shots we're looking for, so if they want to reach up to a good decent total.
And it looks like it's forced a change in field as well. An extra person coming in to that cover region. Last ball for Noordania Shahada. Well fielded, but can't stop the single. She's going to retain strike, Murshida. She moves on to 28. The score, 106 for 6. And well done, Noordania Shahada, 2 for 25. In fact, Ariana Natasha, she's gone down. I hope she's okay. Yeah, you can just see the physio as well, just running onto the field. She looks in a considerable amount of pain, in fact. Let's check out this replay. Punched off the back foot. What happened here? Puts in the dive. Yeah, maybe just landing awkwardly. Yeah, it looked like an issue maybe with her groin or hamstring, the lower half of the body.
Yes, definitely. It seems so. Let's see what physio says. If she needs to go back to the pavilion, she needs to take some rest, or she's continuing here. Murshida playing on 28 on 26 balls. Rabia was the new batter, playing on 7 of 5 balls. And something which is missing here, I think that they should be putting up a slip to put the pressure on a new batter, which they have not been doing since the starting.
If you're just joining us on the broadcast, Bangladesh A won the toss, decided to bat first. Shorna Akhtar has been the main fielders. Just going down, it looked like she injured the lower half of her body. Here are the wickets so far. Check out this catch. Oh, apologies, the highlights. There you go. A nice little start here for Bangladesh A. But then the wickets started to fall. The left-hander well taken, Yusrina Yaqub, she juggled it and then she celebrated. And this full toss, it was high, it was in the air and taken yet again in the deep. They've been so good at taking those catches, Malaysia. Look at this in-swinger, Aisha Elisa, the delivery of the tournament so far. Make no mistake about that. Down the ground, Shorna Akhtar. Apologies, that was Sobana Mustari. She tried to repeat the dose, she got a top edge, and she was well taken by Wan Julia. And that is what brought Shorna Akhtar to the crease. Check that out. Making full advantage of a full toss. But we're back live. Oh, speaking of full tosses, that should be called a no ball. And put away, rightfully so as well, by Murshida Khatun. She moves into the 30s, 32 off 27. And yes, it was indeed signaled a no ball. Khyati Gulani, talk us through this.
Yes. So these kind of deliveries are kind of a suicide in middle of the match, because this ball needs to be bowled again, and then you never know, it can go for a boundary or 2 or 1 run. So we need to avoid such kind of deliveries. Now it's a free hit. A batter will try to convert that into a boundary, because only run out is possible. Again a full toss ball, but she tried to hit it. There is a slight miswheel here. 1 run taken. So 1 ball, 5 runs gone. Again, it's a no ball. No ball signal given by the umpire. Again, a free hit. I think batter needs to capitalize this free hit now. Instead of going towards the ball, I think she should wait in the crease and see the behavior. Or she used the feet. And it's up in the air. There's no fielder. Only 1 run has been taken.
An interesting series of events. I think that second no ball, it was an interesting call because Murshida Khatun was almost halfway down the wicket when that no ball was called. But look, at the end of the day, Christina Barrett, bit of a nightmarish start for her. It's turning into a very long over this for Malaysia. And once again, that total we were talking about, something in the region of 135. Bangladesh looking strong contenders to get up to 135, and I think it's going to be a challenging chase. Another full toss, this time on the legs. Put away, and she finds the gap as well. Down to that spectator's tent. Second boundary of the over, Murshida Khatun. She started a bit slow, but now she's beginning to catch up.
I think it can be a strategy also to spend some time taking singles, rotating the strike when you know the behavior of the pitch, know the conditions, know the ballers. Now you know like where are the gaps. Now they are converting that into boundaries. Good strategy, I would say. It's a great delivery. The ball goes straight into the hands of the fielder. There's no run. There's no point taking risk when you're getting easy singles and boundaries. Again, a good flighted ball straight into the hands of the bowler.
Murshida Khatun, I wonder if she's going to look leg side again. She does. She's looking for 2. They're going to come back for it. Good bit of running here from Bangladesh. She ran that first one hard. And now she moves on to 39, Murshida Khatun. That strike rate just keeps getting better and better for the left-hander. Like there's a bit on the pads there. Maybe fetching that from an off-stump line. But she knew exactly where the gaps were. And receiving good support as well from the non-striker. Looking very dangerous now. Play and a miss. A rare and useful dot ball for Malaysia to close out the 17th. It's 120 for 6.
I think they're playing with a good plan, good strategy. Both the batters discussing with each other from where we can take the runs, on which ball we need to pick, which bowler we need to pick. And I think fielders are still charged up. A lot of cheering sound is coming from the ground, from the Malaysian girls. So this kind of cricket is really interesting when the contest between both the teams is equal, but still Bangladesh is on the upper hand as of now.
And a change in bowling. The skipper, Marcelisa, has brought herself back, well, into the attack for the first time today. Oh no, that's a horrible start. It's going to be another no ball, another free hit, another gift here, this time for Rabia. And you know what? This can happen. Marcelisa has, well, it's been a while since she last bowled in international cricket. We've got humid conditions as well. So she's a little bit rusty. Pressure on, free hit coming up. Goes down the track, hits it straight back to Marcelisa, but that's not going to be a wicket. A useful dot ball nonetheless.
Yes, definitely. That's a point they should be noting. In such a humid weather, they should be taking some kind of a handkerchief with them to avoid such kind of deliveries. It was a great piece of fielding and a throw. Let's see, the umpire has given the signal to the third umpire.
I tell you what, Khyati, this might actually be a little bit closer than we first expected. Because Rabia, she actually dropped the bat when she was sliding in. I think she should be okay. But the square leg umpire doing the right thing, going up, just trying to be safe. Let's take a look at what happened. MALAYSIA, a little bit lucky to get away with that one as well. It was on the pads. The no ball's fine, so that's not an issue. But they need this wicket as well, Malaysia, especially after leaking 14 runs in that previous over. Looks like we got a replay. She makes that dive. Oh, it's the bat in the air. I tell you what, it's touch and go, Khyati Gulani. I think maybe just about safe. I think she's just about okay. And it looks like Malaysia's fielders as well are going back to their positions. Should be a relatively easy decision, this, for the TV umpire. We're going to take another look at that from another angle, just to be safe. Her bat's in the air for now. Oh my God, this angle might tell us something completely different. The bat's down, the bat's down. It's in the air. But is the latter half of that bat over the line? Oh, it's close. Khyati, I think you've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the batter in this situation. But all of you watching on that ACC YouTube channel, let us know what you think in the comments. Is that out? Is she in? Incredibly close. And that's why we have a bit of a delay. That second angle has just opened up the question all over again. Are we going to get a red? Are we going to get a green? What's the decision? All eyes on the match officials right now. Are they going to take another look at this? Yeah, absolutely. They're going to take a look from the first angle, the initial angle that we saw. And I suspect maybe, Khyati, this angle is slightly less conclusive than the angle we saw just now. Such a tough job, isn't it? Being a TV umpire. There's a reason we're here in the comm box. We want to play it safe. There you go. Decision has come in. It's official. It's not out. Rabia lives to fight another day. 4 balls left in the 18th. Worked away on the leg side. Deep mid wicket, races in, does well. Keeps it down to just 1.
Yes, it was, if it would have been out, definitely the scenario would be different. So here, Murshida needs to stay on the wicket till the last, because if the new batter will come, it will take time to adjust to the conditions, to the pitch. It's a short ball, straight into the hands of the fielder, but still they managed to take single run.
Moves into the 40s now, Murshida Khatun. I tell you what, Khyati, I love my stats as well. This is the highest individual score of the tournament so far. I know we're only in match 2, but like I said, I love my stats.
Yes, absolutely. It's a white ball signal by the umpire. So this ball to be bowled again. It's a flighted ball using the feet straight into the hands of the long on fielder. I beg your pardon. Cow's corner. Just a single taken. Murshida still on 40 on 34 balls. Rabia moves to 10 of 11 balls. 1 ball left of this over. It's a flighted ball. Oh, it was a great try by the fielder, but she missed the catch. Oh, she will not be able to sleep today, but she needs to bounce back.
She's got high standards as well, Mahira Izzati. I think she's her own harshest critic. It's not the best way to end the over. 126 for 6. We have 12 balls left in this game. And it's a rare blemish as well from Malaysia in the field. We talked them up as well just a few minutes ago. The catching today has been near flawless from the Malaysians. But look, at the end of the day, Hashan Tilakaratne, I think he's very happy with what's gone down in the last 6 or 7 overs. As we take a look at that bowling card, 2 wickets for Mahira Izzati, 2 more for Aisha Elisa, who's now back into the attack. That's good. That's much better from Malaysia. Good piece of fielding as well. Mas Elisa, the skipper, leading from the front. She's absolutely electric in the field. We saw this during fair break as well when she played for the Falcons.
Captain is changing the field set. Oh, again. Replay of that fielding. Okay. Awesome piece of fielding here. They're just showcasing their fielding skills. Oh, she missed it. It could hit the stumps directly. But I think it hit her shoe. And they've easily taken a single on this. Again, a replay. Or it could hit. It could hit the stumps.
I just love the movement she's getting back into the right-handers. A risky run. This could be out had she collected, which she didn't. In fact, they're going to come back for a second. Oh, that's a brilliant bit of cricket. Bangladesh, great awareness. Alert to the possibility of that second run. They double up. It should have been a dot ball. It should have been a wicket. Once again, finding that block hole. Ah, yeah, there you go. That misfield, that second run. You got to give credit where credit is due, though. They had their eyes open. They were looking for the possibility of coming back for that second. That's exactly what they did. 3 balls left now in the penultimate over. She shuffles across her crease. This time, a useful dot ball. Murshida Khatun on 44, no doubt, eyeing up a half century.
Yes, I think she should. She should start the tournament with a half century. Makes sense, as she has spent a lot of time also on the pitch. Oh, it's a full toss ball. Again, there's a fielder there. Goes for a single run. Murshida, she's playing on 45 of 39 runs. Now Bangladesh is 131 for 6. It's the last ball of the over. Oh, she smashed it. There's no fielder there. And she goes for 49. I think it's a boundary. Oh, again, it's stopped in between. Let's see. Oh, it's a boundary. It's a boundary there. It's slowed down. I thought it's a... Again, the ground has played a spoil sport. But no, it goes for a boundary. With this boundary, Murshida moves to 49.
I tell you what, it teased me as well. It was touch and go there towards that cow corner region. A boundary to close out the over for Rabia. 6 balls left now. It's going to be Mas Elisa once again. This time she's bowling the all-important last over. 135. A full toss. That's poor. That's really poor. Don't bother running for that. Murshida Khatun moves on to 49. Cashes in on another full toss.
Yes, she's trying to encash every loose delivery. And that's how she's reached very close to her half century. I think this will be the 6th one for her in Women's T20I. She's taken... Oh, that's again a boundary. There is a misfield there from the point fielder. Again, it got stopped there. They managed to take 2 runs.
Yeah, in fact, I think they got back for a third as well. And I'm not sure she's realized it, but half century up now for Murshida Khatun, the first 50 of the Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. There's still 4 deliveries left in this innings. Can Rabia perhaps get Murshida back on strike? Or is she going to go for the big shot herself? If you're Marcelisa, you want to find that block hole. You don't want to bowl half volleys. Fires it in. That's shoveled away. A short arm jab into the leg side. It's just a single. But the important thing is Murshida Khatun, the aggressive, well set Murshida Khatun, is back on strike.
Yes, definitely. She has been instrumental in this match. Taken Bangladesh team to 143. A good score so far. Oh, it's again a boundary in no women's land. There was no fielder there. It was a safe shot, straight to the boundary.
Yeah, I absolutely love that shot. Used her feet, drilled it down the ground, split that gap between long off and the bowler. Another boundary for the impressive left-hander. 2 balls left now. Can they get up to 150? Flat batted, straight back to Marcelisa. Useful dot ball. Just 1 ball left, but I gotta say, I'm so impressed with how Murshida Khatun has paced her innings. It's a textbook example of how exactly you should rebuild an innings after losing a flurry of wickets. Kept low, a short arm jab, down to Aina Najwa. They're not even thinking about 2. So a single to close out the innings. Bangladesh A, you get the feeling they're in the driver's seat. They end on 148 for 6. Murshida Khatun undefeated on 57 of 44. Rabia providing good company, 15 of 14. But I have to say, after those first 10 overs, Bangladesh, they're going to be the happier of the 2 units here. 148 for 6. It's the highest score we've seen so far at the Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. And both of these batters walking off the field, walking back to the dugout. And I got to say, they should be very proud of what they've achieved with this 7th wicket partnership.
I think this has to be the ideal score in such a ground where the boundaries are shorter. Let's look at the scorecard. Shati 11 on 11, Rubia 10 on 10, Subhana 14 on 17, Lata Mondal 6 of 8, Murshida not out 57 of 44 balls, Shorna 20 of 14 balls, Naida 3 of 6, Rabia not out 15 of 14. Still, they had 3 wickets in hand.
The bowling card, a bit of a mixed bag, I gotta say, for Malaysia. 2 wickets for Aisha Elisa and Mahira Izzati. The pick of the bowlers, 2 for 25 as well for Noordania Shahada. But everyone else a little bit expensive. They came in for some tap, and that allowed Bangladesh A to recover and post 148 for 6. But it's been an innings of 2 halves. First off, a good start for Bangladesh in those first few overs. Cashing in on anything a little bit too straight, anything a little bit too leg side. But then Mahira, helped, of course, by Yusrina Yaqub with that fantastic catch. You're going to see some more Malaysian good catching here in the deep this time. Well taken. They fought back. Aisha Elisa, the best delivery of the tournament so far. Beautiful textbook in-swing. Sobana Mustari, she flattered to deceive. Mishits this full toss straight into the hands of Juan Julia. And that brought Shorna Akhtar to the crease at number 6. And she was aggressive, Shorna Akhtar, dismissing that full toss. A peach, well, a pie, an absolute pie for Murshida Khatun. Shorna Akhtar, a little bit of luck, but as they say, fortune favors the brave. Couldn't quite kick on Tried to fetch that from outside off stump. Got it away for 6. Tried it again. And this time she found the safe hands of that fielder in the deep. And another wicket. At this stage, we thought maybe they can restrict the Bangladeshis to something in the region of 120. Unfortunately, it all sort of fell apart in those last 5 overs. 51 coming off those last 5 overs, including a 14-run over from Christina Barrett. Rabia as well, getting hold of a couple. But it was Murshida Khatun cashed in every single time that she got a full toss, and she got far too many. Use of the feet down the tracks
A boundary.
between the bowler and long off. A very, very impressive end to the innings for Bangladesh. And what that burst in the last 5 overs means is they've scored 148 at the end of their 20 overs. The target for Malaysia when they come back in the second innings is 149. They've got 20 overs to achieve that. It's going to be very challenging, but if they get close, we're going to get one heck of a contest. How are you feeling? Yeah, even I didn't sleep that much. Like 4.5 hours?
Slept for like 2.5 hours. That 2 in the morning.
Jet lag, or are you doing research?
No, not research.
Yeah. I was up. I was up doing research. I have to just finalize my notes for India A actually tomorrow. I have a lot of work. I'm doing some PR stuff for Cricket Hong Kong as well, and then a little bit for the Malaysian Cricket Association also. So yeah. It's great.
Go slowly then.
Because I'm a coach.
Mm.
I've just come back from a busy schedule. 2 months of cricket in Ranchi and Rajkot.
Oh my God. Away from family.
Yeah. NCA camp and NCA matches.
You have like kids or?
No, I'm unmarried.
Hong Kong's it's very similar. Whether the Indian communities in Hong Kong or in India, the pressure to get married is the same. But no, my parents were actually quite chill
Yeah,
about it.
it's very difficult to cope up with cricket and marriage.
Yeah.
It's better choose one.
I just about cope up. I'm not married yet, but my girlfriend and I will probably tie the knot sometime in the next like 12 months.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
I haven't proposed yet, but I'll propose. I have to figure out it. I'm too busy to propose.
One hour here, then you can maybe in a different way you can propose on the pitch.
She'll pass out because of the heat. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I haven't even thought about how to propose yet. But I'm thinking, maybe like rooftop restaurant, something simple. Rooftop restaurant. She loves like Middle Eastern food, like hummus and all those dips and stuff like that. So I don't know. I can't think of a single Middle Eastern rooftop restaurant in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, I mean, if you want rooftop and you want Middle Eastern, I think you're asking for too much. By the way, who's starting off? Settings? Will it be the two of them?
just go ask.
Nimali, can you come in, please? The bowler needs a marker, bowling marker. For now, see if you can make
Welcome back. We are back live. And the chase is on here for Malaysia. An uphill task for them. They need to get 149 in 20 overs. And this will be quite a daunting target that they are up against. And that's why the first 6 overs will be key. I'm not surprised that Bangladesh will attack because they have the luxury of runs. The bowlers have the cushion, a slip in place for them. Only one fielder outside the circle, and that's third. The rest all inside. 4 on the off inside. And 4 on the onside. We're all set for ball 1. And Castles up front. What a delivery by Marufa. She strikes in a very first delivery. Malaysia have just been jolted by a beautiful in-swinging delivery by Marufa, and no better time to bring Suhas into the discussion.
What a start. Marufa Akhtar gets the middle stump with lovely in-swinging delivery, and Julius, I think, talking to her, saying, I didn't see it at all, it's the extra pace too. 0 for 1.
The best part about that delivery, Suhas, it was quick, it moved in the air as well. Just made life very difficult for her batters, just finding her feet in the middle, just coming to terms with the afternoon sunlight, and suddenly she's been surprised by that in-swinging delivery. Marufa, what a
Middle.
start for her and Bangladesh.
Marufa lefty के लिए. Coming right arm over, 5 balls to go.
In comes Christina. 0 for 1 when you're chasing 149 is more than a mountain to climb.
But they've got to believe. They've got to believe that they've got the batting prowess to get there, Malaysia. I think bowling is the stronger suit, and the reason I say that is because you saw the catching as well, fielding. Absolutely brilliant. Bowling has improved. Now Christina Barrett. Again, they've got the experience to take them there. But do they have what it takes against the extra pace that Bangladesh have equipped themselves with? Marufa Akhtar is one of them. Look at the steam in. I was going to ask you, do you need a slip in place when the ball's not swinging much, but she's so good with her line?
Well, she's coming at an angle, and that's the perfect ploy to have a wideish second slip. The in-swinger to the right-handed batter becomes an out-swinger to the left-hander. And I would actually go in with 2 slips, simply because they've got a wicket in the very first ball, 149 to get, apply more pressure.
Oh, good ball. And I think she'd made her mind up, Christina, that she's going to defend it anyway, just to show the bowler that now I'm in control. Marufa Akhtar is one of the quickest in the tournament. Fatima Sana perhaps will top it.
Just like the way she runs in. Smooth run up, great rhythm. Like her action as well. And aggressive and intimidating.
2 words that you'd love to use for any fast bowler.
Absolutely, Suhas.
Side change.
Oh yes, that
Coming
angle
around.
is troubling. It's not a very extravagant front foot that she wants to commit herself with, Christina. Now what do? Do you cover your off stump a little more and try and play the ball near your body? Do you dance across? For some reason, catch it was a call.
Tentative push. A wicket maiden here for Marufa. What a start here for Bangladesh. Malaysia will have to find ways to get back to runs. But for the moment, the bowling side are calling the shots. It's 0 for 1 after over number 1.
Bowling left arm round. Righty. Check.
Suhas, you did talk about the batter not really moving her foot to the pitch of the ball. There's a theory to it as well. Sometimes getting too close to a delivery that's moving a lot can also induce an edge. So if you don't get too close to a ball, also maybe a little helpful. That's because you're just negating that outside edge factor coming into play.
I see where you're coming from, and that's a brilliant point in itself. Oh, Sanjida asking a question immediately. What's it with Bangladesh A bowlers and the first ball they bowl? Absolutely on the money. This didn't bounce as much, perhaps helped a little by the surface. But you're just coming to your point. I think you got to give yourself the best possible way to succeed, and that can only happen with control. And if you need control, you need to get closer.
And that's where You get to know how confident the batter is when backing her technique in such situations. That ball keeping low again. Just get the impression she's playing the wrong length. She should be going forward to that.
Yusrina Yaqub is very strong off her back foot. We've seen that so many times. Not just at the Kinrara Oval, but wherever the team travels. Oh, there's something on it. There were 2 sounds, says Shanjida. Well, there were 3, with Shanjida appealing.
But certainly there was some sound on the way to the wicketkeeper. The fielders and the bowlers are just about perplexed as to what's happening in the middle. That's a legal delivery for sure. A lot of excitement, everyone going up.
And no deflection at all. Just felt like there was perhaps a click of the bat that sometimes happened with the handle. Sometimes it happens.
For the ones who've played cricket, the click of the handle, they'll be able to relate to it. So as you and I certainly have been through that situation as well. And we tried our best to convince the umpire it's the handle.
Even with the plastic bat?
Reluctant running. Oh, directed, and she would have been struggling, Jakob. She was never getting there. Just wonder whether she had given up as well.
Just get the same feeling here, Mick. I mean, look at this. She never got going. You've got to push yourself when you reach the destination. You want to reach their full throttle. But it looked like she didn't increase the pace at all. It wasn't necessarily a saunter either. Shanjida is asking questions, and because those questions are going unanswered, they're trying to do something a little different. That can also mean taking a cheeky single and putting yourself at risk. Christina Barrett is yet to open the account, and Jacob's got 1, and that too a very scratchy single. Malaysia have got to come out of this reeling situation of 1 for 1. The field suggests that a slip is still in place, but very wide, almost a gully. Fine legs inside the circle. Mid-wicket in place. Beauty. You place a 4th stump there and it would have gone flying.
Marufa, after that wicket at the very first delivery, has just grown in confidence. Look at that. Holding its line on this occasion. What a delivery. By far, I feel, all through this tournament as it progresses, we'll have to keep a watch on Marufa. She's certainly going to create.
Are we playing on the same surface, Mikhail? Look how different it is now. And look what it was earlier on. And every time she bowls on the stumps, gets very exciting. Because there's no lateral movement after pitching either. All that movement that's generated, it's only because of swing and the angle that Marufa is creating. The ball's pitching and it's holding its line.
Well, it's a perfect T20 wicket, Suhas. I look at it that way. Sporting wicket, everybody has something in it. The pacers, the spinners are getting turned. The batters are playing through the line. 149, 148 scored in the first innings of this match. Says a lot about the surface on offer. Oh, just wide of slip, and that'll race away for a 4. And that's why I was saying go in with 2 slips. You've got the cushion of runs. You have a bowler steaming in and hitting the deck. Just back her with 2 slips and create more opportunities.
I think this was deliberate. Christina opened the face of the bat knowing that the fielder at slip is not a conventional one. Just opens the face of the bat and runs it down exactly where she wants.
Well, she's certainly living dangerously then.
Still a long way to go, 143. Don't know how she decided that she's going to play that shot. It's very, very risky. But the fact that she played it tells you that she's reading Marufa's slower delivery.
But what I don't understand about Marufa's bowling, that's the dugout of the Malaysian side. What I really don't understand of this approach, she was bowling over the wicket, and all of a sudden after that 4 that went down 3rd, she shifted around the wicket, just completely cancelling that angle that she was getting for the left-handed batter.
Now for the righty, it's like clockwork.
sometimes when you get a wicket very early, you do go high on confidence as well. And that's when you try too hard to extract that other wicket, Suhas.
And that's when the mistakes creep in as well, not just because you're a little muddled in thinking, but also because the front foot can start to misbehave. We've seen that happen in cricket. So far so good from Arufa, but it's good to know that she's got a lovely slower delivery as well. And in cricket they tell you the quicker you get, slower delivery becomes a better friend. Into the over, 3 gone, 9 for 1.
Slightly this side. Check. Bowling over.
Julia departing in the very first delivery of the chase. And after that, it's been some kind of rebuilding act by Jakob and Christina. They've had to be very tentative in this innings of theirs. Very circumspect. Still a lot of batting to come. But Bangladesh are really up to the task at the moment, giving nothing away.
Remember, no Winnie, no Elsa Hunter. Christina Barrett. Just love the control factor in the previous shot. Opening the face of the bat. Can she assume a little more responsibility? Can she put her hand up and say, I'm going to be anchoring the innings, others bat around me? Oh, that seems to be a very favourable area. Be it the pacer or the spinner.
Well, the slip is being kept entrusted, be it a pacer or a spinner. That's because the batters are just about opening the face of the bat and trying to steer it down third. Now, the concern is not about the partnership. The concern is not about getting the runs. It's about how quick they can get the runs, because their asking rate is creeping up. There again, just trying to glide it. But that could have been very risky.
Ooh, she got a hand to it. That's much better. And I just get a feeling that Jakob's getting a little tied down because she commits herself on the back foot. And that too a little early. It also makes her a candidate for LBW more often than not. If Jakob can press onto that front foot, then new shots will open up. New opportunities will open up. That's not a single. Well flighted though by Shanjida.
Well, each time Jakob has tried to come down the track of playing forward, she's not looked the batter that she usually is. She's much better off the back foot, as you mentioned some time back. But on this surface, you have the liberty to play through the line. There again, almost carried to the fielder at covers.
Now that single will eventually be achieved. It's not because of the shot, but because of the overthrow. But it'll put Jakob at ease. Another very good delivery. She'd bowl according to the field given. But for some reason, neither sensed an opportunity at the non-striker's end, but misfired.
And in the process, Jakob gets a single, and she'll be happy to be at the other end, because she's consumed 13 deliveries for only 5 runs, and that also piles down the pressure at the non-striker's end, which is Christina.
She's presented a dead bat to this one. 4 overs later is 11 for 1. They would have attacked the first 6 overs to try and get this down.
पहले के 5 ओवर
$11 for 1 in 4 overs. Some more spin.
Change in bowling.
4 inside the circle on the off. That's an interesting position that That fine leg would slightly square inside the circle. Dancing down the track, good intent, but straight to the fielder. Will refrain from the throw as the backup arrived a little late.
Into the 5th over, only 11 runs here for the Malaysian side. Somebody needs to remind them they're chasing 149. Here again, not a good looking or rather convincing shot. This could be close. Unsure about their running. The coordination has been very ordinary.
I think that shot was not for a single as it went straight to the fielder. She's there. Good effort, very good effort. And the fact that she believed that she can get there thanks to the coach dragging the bat, sliding the bat. Umpire Gayatri having a word with Nahida, perhaps telling her to get a move on. Oh, that's too much. Just a hint of turn, and the trick is already done. Nahida knows that the batter is robbed of a wicket. She slips, and the bat is no longer an instrument that she can use to get back in time either.
I'll tell you what, that's a very smart piece of bowling. She just held herself a little behind this time around. She used the crease very well and just slowed the pace of the ball. And in the process, the batter may just be found short as well. Brilliant piece of bowling.
From this angle, we perhaps do not see the turn, but yeah, it might look like a ballerina and not a batter, but here is what it is. She couldn't put the back foot back on time. Beautiful glove work by the keeper. Sultana is obscuring the stumps from this angle. Oh, the fact that she slowed it down, I think, Mikhail, that's the slowest delivery of the entire day so far.
Absolutely, Suhas, and that's why I told that it was a very smart piece of bowling. Used the crease, completely changed pace. Batter just committed into the shot way too early. And nice glove work done as well behind the stumps by Robia. Yusrina Yacob departs for 5 and 16. She was just not able to find the middle of the bat. 11 for 2 in the 5th over. Problems plenty here for Malaysia.
That's middle. That's leg. Coming left arm around 3 balls to go. 3 balls.
Marcelisa, the captain. Now, can she stitch a partnership together first up with Christina and then make amends? But she doesn't have as much time. 138 from 92 now. A lot of dot deliveries. Nahida's tied the batters down.
138 needed in 92. That asking rate is touching new highs. There again, closing the face of the bat, desperate to get off the mark, get to the other end. They don't have that release shot, Suhas, at the moment, Malaysia. They've just not been able to break the shackles.
True, and the equation is getting tighter and tighter by the minute. 138 of 91. Myra Ismail she's getting ready as the next batter. Now is that a single? Every single is offered not without resistance, and this is good thinking from Bangladesh, even though this one was spilled and the singles complete. Elisa is off the mark. She would be on strike as well. Was a little late to start off. Wasn't a clean collect, and a single completed. 5 overs gone. 12 for 2 Malaysia. Change in voices. We have Khyati Gulani coming in with Jay Dansingani.
Yep, thanks Suhas. 12 for 2 after 5 overs. It's a less than ideal scoreline right now for Malaysia. But it seems like it's spin to win. That's the strategy I'd go for. That's the strategy that Bangladesh A have opted for as well. Change in bowling. Sultana Khatun into the attack for the first time today. And welcome, Khyati Gulani.
Wicket coming, girls.
Spinner is to deceive the batsman better. That's what she's trying to do.
Hey, single.
Slight edge towards third and taken a single.
Lefty on his strike, lefty.
And that's how a spinner should be pushing the batter backward, using the crease, bowling from different angles, using the flight of the ball, turning the ball. That's how a spinner can defeat a batter and ultimately taking out a wicket.
Itu upare thakis, upare thakis.
The field position. Slip is right there. Great bowling by Khatun.
Wicket coming, girls.
Good pressure on the batter.
Aste se.
Very difficult to take out runs on such deliveries. Good tight line she's bowling.
Excellent, bravo.
Fielder there to put pressure on the batter.
Ambil gap sikit.
And she's been right on the money. Her first over. She's made no mistakes whatsoever. Is she going to bring that first slip into play? Turned away on the leg side. Christina Barrett, she's going to have to hurry. And she just about gets in. Another inexpensive over though, just 2 runs off it. And that closes out the power play as well. 14 for 2 after 6.
Shall wait for you. End of power play.
It's working now. It's working now.
Fielder injury.
Just like 5 seconds ago, it just got fixed.
Malaysia 14 for 2 after the completion of 6 overs. Christina playing on 7 of 14 balls. Elisa on 2. So that's a drinks break. I'm sure the coach must have given some power message to the players.
Yeah, it's an informal drinks break, actually. Yeah, in fact, it looks like the wicketkeeper is just down with some cramps. And look, I don't blame them. It's a hot and sultry day so far in Hong Kong. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised because lately Hong Kong has been blanketed by torrential rain. It's actually a good thing. We've got cricket, we got a full game in the morning. We're gonna get a full game here, fingers crossed. But it's tough to get used to for players as well. Even for the local Hong Kong players, it's not supposed to be this warm and toasty in June. But look, that's what it's like sometimes at the international level. You're going to get worse conditions than this as well if you play in the Middle East, for example.
Yeah, so such events are for their practice also, but I don't see much fielders on the boundaries to give them the waters. Those who are standing on the boundaries, they should keep themselves hydrated throughout the game. It's very important to do so if they want to play all the matches without any injuries.
And I think Suhas or Mikhail. Suhas, yeah, there you go. Suhas has got someone with him.
Coming left arm over.
A special guest lending us their insights. But a quick recap, if you're just joining us, the news from the middle is Bangladesh A won the toss, decided to bat first, posted 148, and it looks like we're ready for the interview. Take it away, Suhas Vedam.
They do not have an alternative keeper in the playing 11, so we are allowing from outside the 16 to come in. थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी बुला ले.
Look at that beautiful backdrop at the Tin Kwong Road Recreation Ground, more affectionately known as Mission Road. That scorecard, though, not as pretty as the skyline here in Hong Kong. Christina Barrett, though, she's still there, undefeated on 7 of 15. Masa Lisa, the skipper, a lot of responsibility rests on her shoulders, especially in the absence of Winnie Dure-Singham and Elsa Hunter. But Winnie Dure-Singham, of course, teaches English at a government school, and she wasn't able to secure leave in order to be here for this tournament. And Elsa Hunter, of course, plays for the New South Wales under-19 team. So she's busy in Australia, and an opportunity, of course, for the rest of this lineup. The likes of Mahira Izzati often comes in at number 4, number 5. This time the captain coming in at number 4, and Kyati, as they say so often in T20 cricket, number 4 is actually the hardest position to bat in.
I must say that there should be more pinch hitters in the team so that they can rotate the strike well, use the converting those twos into boundaries. Look at the scoreboard of Malaysia. Julia didn't score any run, got out on duck. Yaqub playing on 5 of 16 balls. Christiania not out, playing on 7 of 15 balls. Elisa still playing on 2 of 5 balls.
Five deliveries left in the 7th over. Nahida Akhtar has taken a wicket already, looking for that second wicket. But I gotta say, it's been all Bangladesh A so far in this game. A big score in that first innings. And we're ready to resume. Good use of the feet. She's found the gap as well between cover and extra cover. A bit of a chase on. And they're gonna come back for 2. A good bit of running. We've spoken about this before. So important to run that first one nice and quick. It gives you a better chance of coming back for the second. What I enjoyed about that shot as well, hitting against the spin, but she went to the pitch of the ball. So important you do that to just smother the spin. Much better. Just pulled the length back there, the left arm spinner. 3 balls left in the 7th over. And Suhas, Vedam is ready for us. He's got a special guest.
This is the first time we coming here, and it looks the wicket is make us have a challenge. And then I think it's because maybe the second game and the third innings play, the wicket already become low, and the fourth inning we are waiting. The wicket will become very, very low. So I think it's a good, different challenge for us for the wicket.
As far as this tournament is concerned, would it be right to say that your square-offs against Nepal recently was the series to try and pick a team for this one as well?
Yeah, the series with the Nepal is a good experience and exposure for us to prepare for these tournaments.
The way you've adapted to conditions, especially the catching, a word on that. And how hard have you been working on the catching aspect of it? Because you've been phenomenal of late.
Actually, I work hard with it, and I love with my keeping, and I love with the catching. So I try my best, and I do my best in the field.
One, the situation doesn't look good at the moment, though, but a partnership can always change things. The beauty about Malaysia is that they bat deep. Any player that you want to put your hand up and say, that can be the one, put your finger on?
For me, yeah, the situations look bad, but I trust with my teammate because I know since there's Mahira, there are Mas and Mahira still on the field. I think we can make a change and we can put a decent score in the board.
And finally, playing the women's emerging teams Asia Cup here in Hong Kong. How's the feeling?
It's a great feeling, and happy to be here with the Hong Kong, and the weather is quite good. So I'm very happy here.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. All the best for the rest of the game. One.
Thank you, Jay.
Lefty, come on.
And that was Juan Julia, wicketkeeper batter for Malaysia. Took a really good catch as well in that first innings, Juan Julia. It's never easy. It's high up in the air. You got the sun in your eyes as well, but she did well. Good day behind the sticks for Juan Julia. It's going to be the left arm spinner to continue. Off spinner, I beg your pardon. Streaky single. She's going to have to rush. A bit of a fumble there allows Christina Barrett to get through.
Bowler is trying to adjust the field here. Good piece of bowling. She tries to play in the gap, but straight in the hands of the fielder. There's no run. Good flight, good turn. Trying to deceive the batsman. That's what we look for in an off spinner. A good edge there, goes for a single from short third.
And there's that deception you were talking about as well. That one just going on with the arm, drawing the outside edge. And she dragged her length back as well. Sultana Khatun, she started well. I tell you what, a straighter throw, we might have seen another wicket there. But Bangladesh, they've been right on the money so far today, making things a little bit challenging here for Malaysia. Halfway through the 8th over, 19 for 2. Christina Barrett into double figures. But look, at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. Malaysia, they need boundaries at this stage to try and get as close as possible to that total.
Yes, definitely. It's like they need 130 runs from 75 balls. Both the batters are making strategies there. If it could have been the direct hit, then the result could have been different. And I'm sure, like, at this stage, you need to attack the bowler so that you can go for a few boundaries there. And you can take the scorecard closer as far as possible. Christina playing on 10 of 19 balls. Elisa still on 4 of 9 balls. Bowler is ready. It's a good flight. Straight into the roots. She's just trying to take out this wicket, putting the batter into under pressure. Again, a good piece of bowling from Sultana. She's bowling her second over. And she seems to be a very experienced bowler.
Yeah, I love her control of flight. So smart at just dragging that length back as well, changing her pace. Another example of that. Another dot ball, in fact. And the score remains 19 for 2 after 8. Mikhail Vaswani with that useful stat in the background. Just 7 runs coming in the last 3 overs. It's been that sort of day, that sort of innings so far for Malaysia. Just haven't really built up any real momentum so far. But the good news for them, that batter on your screen, the captain, MALAYSIA, she's still there. As long as she's at the crease, Malaysia have some hope of posting a competitive total in the second innings. I get the feeling maybe an outright victory is a little bit too much to ask from this position. But if they can bat out their 20 overs, maybe get up to a score of around 85, 90 or even 100. And I think they'll be pretty pleased with this outing.
I guess body language and fielding is infectious. The way we saw Malaysian girls fielding in the morning, and the same way these Bangladeshi girls are fielding, restricting the batters. Oh, there was a call for a single, but it was a good piece of fielding by short third fielder. Sent back the batters into the crease. Great flight. Again, this time it's in the gap. Gone for 2. Great. Oh, again, there was a chance of run out, but she dragged it and reached to the crease well in time. She steered it towards short third. Fielder was present, so there's no run. She's trying to find the gaps, but it's very hard to find the gaps on such kind of bowling attack. She's bowling with experience, reading the batter. Now finally she found the gap, goes for a single, and there's a little bit of a misfield, but still managed to send back the ball to the bowler.
I think you can see the frustration just starting to grow here for Malaysia as well. Hands on her hips, MALAYSIA. It's a hot and sultry afternoon here in Hong Kong. It's really testing the fitness of many of these players. You can see MALAYSIA as well, just trying to punch some energy into those muscles. Bowled her. That's the end of Christina Barrett. Tried to work it away on the leg side, just playing across the line. And that's the 3rd wicket for Bangladesh A. Rabia this time. The leg spinner chips in with a scalp. So 3 wickets down inside the first 9 overs. Christina Barrett, she got into double figures, couldn't quite kick on. And Bangladesh A, their advantage continues to grow in this game. Dismissed for 11, Christina Barrett. You see there, only one boundary in that innings. In fact, only one boundary in this entire Malaysian innings. And that really highlights the problem for Malaysia so far today, at least in the batting department. We have a new batter walking to the crease. Coming in at number 5, Mahira Izzati. But yeah, like we mentioned earlier, recently in international cricket, Mahira Izzati, she's been making contributions both with the ball and with the bat. Took 2 wickets as well in that first innings, and probably the pick of the bowlers for Malaysia.
As the outfield is very slow, very heavy. I think since morning there's about 10 to 12 boundaries which got saved due to that. Batters tried their best to play in the gaps to score some runs, to get some runs on the scoreboard. But something has to be done about this, I'm sure, so that we can have a good feeling of T20 cricket here. Again, a good piece of bowling. Push the batsman back into the crease.
And she's done really well, Shanjida. Given nothing away, bowling to a straight boundary. Short straight boundary, I beg your pardon. It's a little bit short. There's a fielder in the deep. Halfway between a conventional cover and a deep cover. Just a few yards in from the boundary. I like this from Bangladesh though. Bangladesh looking to turn on the screws. Don't want to give away any boundaries whatsoever. Shanjida. Guided, looking to get off the mark. Mahira Izzati coming into this game and this tournament with some good form under her belt. She's striking it nicely. She's looking leg side as well. Where are my gaps? Good use of the feet. Finds the fielder. Consecutive dot balls to kick off her innings. Tell you what, she's getting through her over really quickly as well, Khyati. 2 balls left before the drinks break. Ah, and she's bowled her. She's cleaned her up. That was a beautiful dream delivery from the left arm spinner. Slow drift into the right-hander. Purchase off the wicket. And the stumps have been disturbed. 4 wickets down. 24 for 4. Malaysia.
So at the moment, Malaysia requires 125 runs off 64 balls. Oh, what a delivery. She found the gap between the bat and pad of the batter. She just missed the line of the ball. Mahira Izzati Ismail went on duck.
I've done it again. I've done it again. As soon as I praise a player, something like this just had to happen. But I tell you what, it was a dream delivery. You can see everyone else as well in the commentary stand. Very impressed by that delivery. She deserved that wicket as well, Shanjida. Her first wicket of the day. And it also means we're going to be taking an early drinks break. But that gives us an opportunity to just tell you about what's happened so far. Not just in this innings, but in this game. 148 for 6. It was always going to be a very tough total to chase down. Make no mistake about that. But I don't think we quite imagined how good the likes of Shanjida Akhtar would be on a day like this, making full use of the surface. And you can see that scoreboard as well. Wan Julia dismissed first delivery of the innings. Marufa Akhtar, you miss, I hit. She made no mistake whatsoever. Christina Barrett, she fought hard. She stayed there for a little bit. Got a boundary away as well. Couldn't quite kick on. If there's any good news for Malaysia, it's the fact that MALAYSIA, their skipper, is still out there undefeated on 8 of 16. That scoreline, well, less than ideal. 24 for 4. Khyati, what do you think has gone wrong for Malaysia so far?
I think the batters need to spend some time in the middle. They should understand the behavior of the pitch, the ground, the bowling attack, and they should look for the gaps. Then they should go. They should change the gear, but they didn't show the patience here, and one by one they kept losing the wickets here. As we see, fall of wickets. 0 on the first wicket was right in the first over on the first ball, and second wicket was in the second over when the score was 11. The third wicket was gone when the score was 23, and the fourth one when the score was 24. So you can see very less gap is there. So we look for partnerships here so that they can take the score somewhere closer to that, as they still need 125 runs from 60 balls here.
At the halfway mark, Malaysia 24 for 4. Aina Hamiza just walked in at number 6, and we're going to see a change in commentary. Mikhail Vaswani and Suhas Vedam getting behind the mic.
Coming right arm over.
Thank you, Jay. An interesting piece of stat I'd like to share. The first 5 overs yielded 12 runs for the loss of 2 wickets, and exactly 5 overs on, they've managed to get 12 more runs and lose 2 wickets, which means after 10 it's 24 for 4. That's been the story for Malaysian cricket at the moment.
It's not the right kind of mirroring. 125 and 60 balls. Now this looks like a distant dream, with even though there's 6 wickets in hand. And the reason I say that, Mikhail, is because what they lack at the moment is intent. You'd love to see them go for the target. Not if that's the ball. You're quite content leaving it.
They lack the conviction in the shot making, to be very honest. When you're chasing something close to 148, you have to take those calculated risks as well. Fairly understandable, they've lost 4 in the process. Look at that for turn. Rabia just about extracting some kind of purchase from the surface. And that's why this wicket makes for a very interesting one.
Every time the spinner has slowed things down,
Right to your right. All 3.
there's something on the surface.
Yeah.
Isn't that the norm? Slower you bowl, more turn. The more air you give the ball, more turn. Perhaps the second statement might be true.
We are in the 11th over, and for the spinner, Midon and Miroff are up in the circle. In fact, Miroff has just pushed a little back, but Midon is up in the circle for the leg spinner. Just goes to show the kind of domination in the middle. Short and wide, just manages to put one towards cover sweeper, but this will not really bother Bangladesh.
That's center.
Aina has
Right
decided
arm
to take
over.
a middle stump guard. That means if the ball turns further away from her, from the middle stump, she'll still go for it. Elsa wanted that single. Oh, there was a throw, and it's gonna pain. It's gonna sting because of the proximity. It wasn't deliberate, and she knows it, but it's gonna pain nonetheless. Elisa's going to put that pain behind and continue to bat for her side. It wasn't her mistake at all. It's the fleshy part. I think it's near the toe, or do you think it's the quad? What is it? But it's hit a flush, and it's not protected by the pad.
That's the over.
The fact is she's back on her feet and she's ready to go for another run is good news for Malaysia. End of the 11th over, it's 26 for 4.
Yeah.
Too close to cut. Well, it's been a struggle at the moment here for Malaysia. Chasing 149. They've just got into the shell and they've just not been able to come out of it. In the 12th over, they only managed 26 runs. Their run rate is something around 2. Much better this time. Get some bat on it. Only a single. Their asking rate is over 12 and 13. 6 wickets in the dugout. It's a one-sided contest at the moment, and Bangladesh are sitting pretty.
22 is possible, but it's just the intent that you want to see a little more from Malaysia at this stage. They can't take it too deep either.
Well, somebody has to take charge in the middle, Suhas, and others have to bat around them. When you're chasing 148, you have to have that one batter who's always on the lookout for runs. But on this occasion, both batters are pretty much sitting quiet in their crease.
Good ball.
Marufa was quick, asking questions, and after that, the spinners have just slowed things in the middle. Slowed down things, rather. Oh, castled. Playing all over it. That one kept low. And that's what happens. You pay the price for playing across the line. Trying to overhit it, Elisa only sees her stumps shattered.
The cross-batted shot, but it didn't bounce as much. You could see how devastated she is. Putting her pains behind, wanting to tread on for the team. Misses a straight ball, but you can't say that the shot wasn't on. The required rate wants you to play shots of this kind. Captain Mas Elisa, 10 or 24. 28 for 5. The scorecard is reading a horror story for Malaysia. 121 looks like a distant dream as the captain is departing. She's missed out on a straight delivery. Cross-batted shot that does not connect. What do you reckon of the shot selection? Not just this one, but overall. The 5 wickets that have fallen. One Julia perhaps was taken by surprise by the accuracy and pace of Marufa Akhtar.
I just feel the balls that were meant to be hit were not converted, and the better deliveries. We'll take a look at that dismissal once again. In the crease, trying to play that and find the mid-wicket region, livid with herself. Walks back in anger. Half the side back in the dugout. 28 for 5 after 12.
Lata, you are good on over rate.
Ma'am, 11 gone or 10 gone?
Overs, 11 gone.
11 gone.
Sorry, 12 gone.
12 gone. Jadi 12 ko শেষ. Jadi yang ke-13. Tadi saya dengar dia kata 12 habis.
Himangi, can you ask the scorers to get the scoreboard changed? Over showing as 10 runs. Yeah. Bowler coming, left arm around.
Boleh je.
Some of the shots that they've played it's not going to pinch the opposition at all. Every dot ball is a wider smile on the faces of Bangladesh fans as this game is coming into their kitty. 121 of 46, Mikhail. The cross-batted shot this time connects. It's also owing to the extra bit of bounce generated. We've seen 3 different moods today of this pitch.
This situation just brings us back to a question. When was the last boundary hit in this innings? And that'll pretty much tell you the story as well. It's been a struggle for the batters in the middle.
That's middle, center.
Bangladesh have done everything right. Murshida got to a well-made 50, powered the team to 148. Marufa struck out the very first delivery, and after that it's just been a one-sided contest. Oh, that almost! To me, it looked like Adra just kissed the stumps and went to the wicket-keeper.
Nimali,
When was the last time the spinner said, why did it turn so much? Had it gone straight, would have definitely kissed the off stick. She just realizes, Nahida, that this is the right spot and I'll keep bowling there. She's not doing anything different. All that she's doing is just leave the stock delivery out of her hand and the ball does the rest. It's getting frustrating. 13 overs later, 29 for 5. You could see how frustrated Aina was. Now there are two Ainas batting. She wanted to get off the mark there, Aina. It's very frustrating.
All batters' name is Aina. No, only
We all know that Aina Hamiza is a fighter. Come crucial situations, she has delivered. Remember that Mariko Hill wicket that she took when Mariko was batting so well for 36. It was a crucial wicket. That was in Dubai. And then MLI as well. She was able to castle. That was with the ball in hand, of course. That changed the game. Eventually, Hong Kong did win, but that changed the game. Now, she's presented with a new challenge. Wonderful. That's a good shout. We'll have a look at it again. To 120 of 40 deliveries. Mikhail, bat up.
This time just plays it towards covers. Once again finds the fielder. That's been the story for Malaysia this afternoon.
Why does it feel like Malaysia, when they have the bat in hand, there are 120 fielders out there? They've tried to hit the gap. Some of them were so crisply struck. Beautiful shots, but straight to the fielder.
And they've heavily relied on the cross-batted heaves and hits. They'll come back for 2.
Just tells you how good Lata Mondol has been with her captaincy.
And she's had player for every occasion today, let me tell you. When the team was in a precarious situation, Murshida stood up. Maru forgot that wicket at the very first delivery, making life easy for them. Another dot ball. 118 now in 37.
Risky, but someone's got to take the risk. Off the ricochet, it's still a couple. Or they need a big hits.
Well, that kind of an opportunity for the fielder where you either go for it or take it on the bounce, and that's when you get confused about it. And by the end of it, what was supposed to be maybe a half chance ends up being 2 runs to the batter.
What do you tell the bowler? I tried.
And I missed.
36 deliveries, 116 required. 33 for 5 in 14 overs. 18 singles at 5 doubles. You want to see more doubles on this wicket, especially when you're chasing 149 on a surface that's good for batting. It's not asking you too many questions. Yes, but it's turning.
Change in bowling coming, right arm over.
I'm very impressed by the conditions that are here on offer here at the Tim Kwong Cricket Ground. It can make for a lovely game of cricket, a very positive game of cricket. But it's just that this particular game's turned out to be one-sided. Malaysia would want more intent. There's nothing better than intent. Perhaps that's the buzzword.
Well, Malaysia did have their moments as well at a time when they were fielding with the ball. They had Bangladeshi at somewhere around 50 odd runs for 4 wickets. That's where they should have really pulled things back into their favour. But Murshida special came in. Gets the leading edge, but that'll fall in safe region. And from then on, it's only been Bangladesh, to be very honest. Malaysia has just been knocked off the equation.
Yeah, 114 of 33 balls is an equation that's not going to trouble the bowling team. Even full tosses are not connecting. What does Aina do? Aina has got to believe that one shot is all that she requires.
And that pretty much summarizes the day for Malaysia as well. You cannot get rid of a full delivery. You don't even manage to clear it past the 30-yard circle. Should I say 15? Another dot delivery.
She's just presented a dead bat. I think the word is the word from the coach, bat the entire 20 overs. Try and do something for the net run rate. But there was intent of this delivery. But the execution wasn't there. Of course, every time they want to break free, the Malaysian batters have gone for a cross-batted stroke. 36 for 5.
There are 2 Ainas on the field right now. One is playing on 7 of 17 balls. Look at the partnerships in the match too. Julia, Yakub, just 1 run. Yakub, Christina, 26 of 11 balls. Christina, Elisa, 12 of 27 balls. Elisa, Ismail, 1 of 5 balls. Elisa, Aina, 4 of 13 balls. Rabia bowling a 3rd over. The ball was in the air for some time. Oh, that's out. It was taken by Rabia itself. Amazing catch by the bowler herself. Look at the delivery again. Oh, it was a good catch by Rabia. She pushed herself towards the batter, towards the ball, and took it. The ball was very low.
Yeah, and Aina Najwa knew it as soon as it came off that leading edge. She knew it was in trouble. A big grimace on her face. She walks back to the dugout for 2 of 7 deliveries. Malaysia, they're now 36 for 6, sliding into further trouble here. The big question, of course, is can they bat out their full 20 overs? And surely that's got to be the minimum target here for Malaysia. Try and get through to that 20 over mark. Maybe get up to around 60, maybe 70 runs. It's always useful getting that game time against full member opposition. As an associate nation player, it can really help you upskill and improve your game for those tournaments that really matter in terms of World Cup qualification, Asia Cup qualification. Here we go, Rabia, she's got her tail up. I like what she's doing as well, giving the ball some generous flight, but keeping it straight at the same time.
Yes, she's pulling the batsman to herself, forcing her to play some shot, and then when she plays, she goes for a catch. Again, a good piece of bowling. I'm sure that Malaysian girls will take a lot of feedbacks and learnings from this match as they progress in the tournament. They'll learn on the job. Again, a very good piece of bowling by Rabia, straight into the hands of the keeper, defeating the batsman.
Yeah, that grip and turn off the surface once again. 2 balls left. That kept low. She adjusted well, in fact. A short arm jab into the leg side. Doesn't get to the boundary. But they're going to get back for 2. A nice way to get off the mark for Ariana Natasha. Coming back to that point you were making about Rabia. I love how she's used this wicket. There has most definitely been some assistance for the slow bowlers. but you got to put it in the right areas. That's exactly what she's done. Right on the money. True to character. Another over ticks by. 38 for 6 after 16.
I'm sure if the selectors of Women's Premier League are watching her bowling, they can pick her as she's bowling in the right areas, forcing the batsman to commit some mistakes. Excellent piece of fielding by Bangladeshi girls.
Left arm around.
Good piece of bowling as well. Since morning, what we have witnessed is good piece of cricket, great captaincy, good catching skills, and good piece of batting and good partnerships as well.
A near action replay there. How many times have we seen that today? And Shanjida, she's been fantastic at this. Look at that, left arm spinners. I'm sure you're having a great time watching at home, especially if you're a Bangladeshi fan. Swept away. Good sound off the bat, but straight to deep fine leg, and it's just a single.
That's how you can destroy any spinner, as we have been talking since morning, that you need to use your feet and you need to try out sweeps and reverse sweeps if you want to score runs against the spinners. That is, these are the only two ways that's how you can do. These are the two good shots can be used against a spinner.
Quick run, she's got to hurry. Direct hit, this could be very, very close. Are they going to go upstairs? No need. Finger goes up. 7 wickets down now for Malaysia. Aina Hamiza, the latest victim. Did well to adjust with that low bounce, but a clean pickup, a direct hit. She was always going to be in trouble there, Aina Hamiza. You get the feeling that maybe she ran for the shot there. So not the best day out here. Another wicket falls cheaply for Malaysia. They're 39 for 7, 3.5 overs left. And the big question is, can they bat out their full 20 overs? Apologies, it's actually Ariana Natasha walking back to the dugout. 2 off 6.
Till now, Bangladeshi girls have shown good performances in all the 3 departments. So coach will go back and put a tick mark in batting, bowling, fielding in all the 3 departments. And I'm sure they'll be happy with the preparations they must have done before coming here. And trust me, this kind of a feeling when you get as a coach, you feel you get a very good feedback. Oh, she tried to sweep it again, but missed and goes into the hand of the keeper. She's trying to find the gap there. Oh, again, she tried to play the same shot and found a gap and goes for a single run. There is a huge gap between mid-wicket and fine leg. She's trying to hit boundary in between, but she's not able to connect the ball well.
Aisha Elisa in at number 9. Her first ball. Ooh, that was a bit uppish. Nonetheless, she gets away with that one. 40 for 7 now after 17. Just going back to your point, I think Aina Hamiza was just trying to manufacture a shot a couple of deliveries ago when she went for that sweep. And you can't really blame her. You don't want to push and prod your way to 45 or 50 after 20 overs. You want to get a couple of boundaries away, make some sort of a statement, and also find some form on an individual level. You want to find some form heading into the rest of this tournament.
At this point in time, if any message should go in for the batters, it should be they should play till the end so that at least they can practice for rest of the tournament, as they need 109 runs of 18 balls. which looks unrealistic, but they should eye on staying till the end. Aina playing on 9 of 21 balls. Elisa just faced 1 ball. That's straight into the hands of the cover fielder. There's no run on this.
They're back to pace. Marufa Akhtar back into the attack. Started so well. Wicket off the first delivery of the innings. And in a minute, I'll tell you why I'm such a big fan of this player, Marufa Akhtar. I think she could have a long and distinguished career for Bangladesh. Again, nice and straight. They're going to come through for a run, in fact, taking advantage of a small misfield. But yeah, no, just coming back to my point, Marufa Akhtar, I was so impressed with her at the Under-19 World Cup. And in fact, at senior level as well. She's shown a lot of promise, Marufa Akhtar. Still remember that game against Sri Lanka. It went down to the wire at the Under-19 World Cup. She fired in a Yorker, the Dumi Vahanga, got her out. Oh, play and a miss. That was a big wicket. Dumi Vahanga was on fire in that game. What a clutch delivery as well. Delivering under pressure. And I genuinely think she could challenge the likes of Jahanara Alam going forward. 2.5 overs left. Marufa once again. Oh, that just climbed on the batter. They squeeze a single into the offside.
At this point, I would like to thank ACC, Hong Kong Cricket, and Mr. Jay Shah to organize such a tournament for emerging women's team. Four associate teams playing with four full member teams. It's a great exposure for the girls. A great delivery by Marufa. At times when the delivery is great, then batter needs to give respect to the bowler. So yes, Hong Kong Cricket has done a commendable job by providing such a great ground. Or there was a chance of run out, and it's an overthrow. 2 runs have been taken.
Yeah, just pushed into the offside there. Yes, no. And finally that overthrow. If it was a direct hit, it would have been 8 wickets down. But it allowed them to sneak through for that single. Once again, a despairing dive. I tell you what, say what you want about Malaysia. They're such an athletic unit. We saw those catches diving forward as well in the first innings. Yusrina Yaqub. That catch allowed Malaysia to make their first breakthrough. It gave them some hope as well in that first innings. They reduced Bangladesh to 53 for 4 after the first 10 overs. But the last 10 overs, that's when it all fell apart. Here's Nahida. Nice and slow. And Khyati, I feel like that's exactly the pace that you want to be bowling on the surface. Give the ball as much air as possible and let the pitch do the rest.
Yes, exactly. That's what we look for from a spinner. A good spot, a good flight. That's that could be out, but there's no signal from the umpire. A great piece of wicket keeping behind the stumps. She was very quick, but the batter was right inside the crease at the right time. So as we were talking about the spinners, yes, definitely. I mean, spinners needs to bowl the way that they should be forcing the batter to commit the mistake. That's what they're doing. And just putting the batters in under the pressure, and at the right time, they're just scalping the wickets there.
Yeah, not for the first time today, a play and a miss. That deception you were referring to just now, that's uppish. Run out chance, it's got to be a direct hit. Sneaky single there, lucky break for Aina Hamiza. She's had a couple of those as well. worth taking a look at this replay. It was a bit uppish, and she ran for the shot. They've done that a lot today, Malaysia. And Bangladesh, they've been good, accurate with their throws. 2 balls left in the 19th. Oh, bit of nasty bounce this time. And we talked about this earlier as well. It's not just low bounce on this wicket. It's maybe just a hint of variable bounce. That makes things all the more challenging for these Malaysian batters. Last ball of Nahida's spell, 1 for 7 so far. What a fantastic day for the experienced left-arm spinner. There's on the leg side, uppish, fine leg. Chooses not to attack the ball. And rightfully so, they're in a position of command here. Bangladesh could have had another wicket though. Yeah, I feel like you've got to attack the ball there. Disha Biswas at fine leg. Nonetheless, just 1 over left now, 45 for 7. And it's going to be interesting to hear the thoughts of MALAYSIA and perhaps even Tushara Kodikara, the coach for Malaysia, after this game. What they have to say about this Malaysian batting performance, and of course about how they bowled at the back end of that innings, especially the last 5 overs. And as we predicted, it's Marufa Akhtar to close things out. Match 2 of the ACC Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. Here we go. Another play and a miss. This time Aisha Elisa. But Khyati, in your opinion, what's gone wrong for Malaysia in this innings so far?
As I said earlier, there should be 1 or 2 batters should be taking the responsibility to stay in the middle and spend time there, and the other batters could go for pinch hitting maybe, but at least 1 or 2 responsible batters should be there from starting to the end. Or there was a misfield there. Still, the batters were managed to just take 2 runs out of it. And for Bangladeshi girls, if we see that there's nothing much to lose, but still they're trying their best to showcase their fielding skills. Good effort by all the fielders, I must say. Not only 1 or 2, all the fielders are trying their best.
Four balls left. Marufa, can she pick up another wicket? It's eased away through the offside. Just a single to deep cover. If Malaysia want boundaries, you get the feeling that with pace on the ball, that's a better bet for Malaysia. But so far, it's been a little bit challenging just getting the ball off the square as well. Full credit to Bangladesh ace bowlers.
Yes, and also as Malaysia knows that they don't have a batting lineup, and it was a great effort by the fielder, by the bowler herself. And I think there's a small niggle there. She got hit by the stump while doing this run out. She throwed herself onto the stumps with the ball, hitting the stumps. A great effort by her. On-field umpires have referred the third umpire.
Yeah, it's a referral here, but I think her bat was in the air. She didn't quite slide her bat, and it looks like that's going to prove to be her downfall as well. We should see a signal rather shortly from that TV umpire room. And I'm afraid we're going to see a red light. We're going to see another finger raised in the air. We're trying to be as thorough as possible, of course, looking at this decision from various different angles. It's a little bit blur there, but it looks like the bat is in the air right now. Yeah, there you go, Khyati. I think maybe just half an inch off the ground, but that's enough. That's enough to adjudicate that as a run out.
Yes, exactly. It was up in the air. I'm sure the batting coach won't be happy with this kind of a thing. Dragging is important. Using the length of the bat is also important.
Yeah, and I feel like this angle, the bat just obstructed by the body of Marufa Akhtar. So this is probably the best angle that we're using right now that you see on your screens. So they're taking a little bit of time to make this decision. You can understand why. It's so important to be thorough. In a situation like this, well, the result is a foregone conclusion. But it's always nice to just get used to those best practices. So pretty shortly we should see the finger raised. And just to be safe, we'll take another look at this replay. Gotta say, very athletic work though from Marufa Akhtar, fielding the ball off her own bowling as well. It's never easy after you've just put all your effort into a delivery as a right arm pacer to charge down the wicket, get down low and knock off those stumps.
Yes, excellent piece of effort by the bowler. And it's an out given by the third umpire.
I love how there's a red light and a blue light. But the important thing is, we see that red light, and Bangladesh A, they've taken another wicket via a run out. 48 for 8. Things going from bad to worse here for Malaysia. And this time, it's Aisha Elisa who has to walk back. 5 of 8 deliveries. It's been a familiar type of score, this from Malaysia. No one's really stuck around and made a big difference to that total for Malaysia. You get the feeling it's only going to get better for Malaysia in this tournament. It's not easy, of course, with Hong Kong being blanketed by torrential rain in the days leading up to the tournament. It means that maybe the outfield's just a tad sluggish. But for now, walking in at number 10, Noor Dania Shahada, facing her first delivery. Guides it into the offside. Streaky single. Chooses not to throw Marufa Akhtar. Wisely so. The game's done and dusted. You've worked hard. You've taken 1 for 15. Your spinners have backed you up as well. We're nearing the end of the day. The first day at the Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. We had an absolute thriller to kick off the day. That game going down to the penultimate delivery. Sri Lanka A just sneaking past the line against the UAE. Last ball, pumped down the ground. Has she found the gap? Not quite. Goes down to long on, and it's just a single. So 50 up for Malaysia, but that's also the end of the game. A commanding performance from Bangladesh A. They win by 98 runs. A big margin, a big victory for Bangladesh A, proving why they're one of the pre-tournament favorites. It's been a fantastic effort. Such a good fight back as well. Murshida Khatun, a strong contender for player of the match in that first innings. She came in at a very tough situation. Got that score up to 148. And the spinners for Bangladesh, the spinners for the Tigresses. So impressive. Nahida Akhtar, Shanjida as well. Barely put a foot wrong. Sultana Khatun adding some off-spin variety. And Malaysia, they're shaking the hands of the opposition. I think they're more than aware of the fact that they've been outplayed today. A very one-sided contest. Malaysia, to their credit, they threw themselves around in the field. They took some really good catches. There's some safe hands in that Malaysian unit. Aina Hamiza, she tried hard. She was there at the end. Just couldn't quite pick up those regular boundaries. But look, Malaysia, they're going to have better days than this. Make no mistake about that. They can be very proud of what they've achieved in the last few years. But they also know that they have their task cut out for them in the rest of the tournament. They're not just here to participate. They're here to win games. Hashan Tilakratne, the coach at the halfway mark. We had a conversation with him at the halfway mark of that Bangladesh A innings. He wasn't happy. But I think he'll be very happy with how they fought back. And that's why, because of that batting card. Aina Hamiza, top scoring with 13 of 31. But trouble at the top for Malaysia. That's where things went wrong for them. Right at the start of the innings, losing a wicket off the first delivery. Juan Julia dismissed for a golden duck. Yusrina Yaqub, Christina Barrett as well. Getting close to double figures, but not quite converting. Marcelisa as well, the skipper, couldn't quite do too much. And 50 for 8 after 20. That's all they could muster. See that Hong Kong flag waving in the background, as well as the Chinese flag. They shared the wickets, didn't they? Rabia, the leg spinner, takes 2 for 7. 1 wicket each for Sultana Khatun, Nahida Akhtar, Shanjida, and Marufa Akhtar. A team bowling performance. I gotta say, even if you pick the harshest critic, it's very hard to find any real faults with this Bangladeshi bowling performance. If we take a look at the highlights of this innings, a common theme in the highlights is just utter dominance from the Bangladeshis. There you go, fortuitous edge down to deep third man, one of the few boundaries. A good piece of work as well behind the stumps. And you're going to see more and more wickets. Rabia this time, the leg spinner, clean bowling, Christina Barrett. And that was an important wicket as well, Christina Barrett. Spent some time at the middle. And a beautiful left arm spinner's dream. Shanjida, the off spinner as well, one that kept low. She chipped in with the wicket, Sultana Khatun. Rabia picks up another, a smart cotton bowled. Made good ground. Safe hands, a big smile on her face. Shanjida, the pressure she created allowed them to pick up a run out on that occasion. Marufa Akhtar as well. Look at this acrobatic bit of work. Another run out. Bangladesh good with the ball, solid in the field as well. Not much else to speak of. No real boundaries except for that edge down to third man. A lot of wickets, a lot of dot balls, and a lot to learn as well for this Malaysian unit. A 98-run win for Bangladesh. And just to recap, 148 for 6 was always going to be a very challenging total to chase down. They were asked to bowl first, of course, Malaysia, and Bangladesh made really good use of this pitch, especially in the last 5 overs where they collected 51 runs. That 57 off 44 from Murshida Khatun, the left-hander. The standout performance from all the batters we've seen so far today. And a big win. A win by 98 runs for Bangladesh. But no, Kyati, I gotta say, very, very impressed with the professionalism and the ruthlessness as well of this Bangladesh A unit. But for now, here's a look at what we have in store tomorrow. Pakistan will be taking on Nepal before Hong Kong take on India A. Doubleheader yet again here at the Tin Kwong Road Recreation Ground, more affectionately known as Mission Road, the home side. It's good to see them in action. They're going to be playing the afternoon game, and Pakistan A squaring off against Nepal at 9 a.m. local time. That's 6:30 IST. You can catch that game on Fan Code, and you can catch it on the official ACC YouTube channel. So wherever you are in the world, you can tune in to some thrilling T20 action from Hong Kong. But just looking forward to tomorrow, Kyati, how excited are you to see the likes of India A and Pakistan A in action, the home side as well, and Nepal? I feel like with Nepal, I'm stating the obvious here. We're going to get a lot of fans packing into those tents. There's no doubt about that.
Same goes with the India A. I'm sure that they'll bring up with a lot of good performances as they did in Under-19 World Cup, and Pakistan A as well. And the most exciting match will be on the 17th between India A and Pakistan A, which whole world is waiting to watch, as it will be a high voltage match, and the fans of India A and fans of Pakistan A will be having a fight. I'm sure online fights, they'll be starting soon. That's what we will look for.
Yeah, I tell you what, India, Pakistan, no fancy marketing strategy needed. The contest sells itself. I can't wait for that. Saturday the 17th. And tell you what, if you're tuning in from Hong Kong, you want to come down, watch the action, worry not. Free admission for the entirety of the tournament. Bring your own drinks, bring your own food, completely free. Some shaded areas as well to watch the game. But yes, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. All four of these teams playing their first game of the competition as well. We're just getting ready here for the player of the match presentation. And in fact, it looks like Suhas is just about ready. There you go. Suhas Vedam. It's been a pleasure sharing the mic with you today. And Suhas, he's almost ready for us. We're going to find out who's player of the match shortly. Here's Suhas Vedam.
ACC Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2023. Bangladesh A took on Malaysia today, and we had a damn squib. It's actually Bangladesh A who convincingly win this one and do a world of good to their net run rate. Without further ado, we'd like to mention that Asian Cricket Council would like to thank the host Hong Kong, the rights holder IPG Group, and all the sponsors for their support. We've got Mr. Shamsa Jamrin, Vice Consul General of Malaysia with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Shamsa, for being here. Let's quickly have a chat with the captain who came second, MALAYSIA. Mas, you could be mighty proud of the girls in certain phases of the game because you were phenomenal, especially with the catching, if you look at the positives.
Yes, I think we are not bowling well because I think too much extra. So we need to put more focus on our bowling and less the extra.
As far as the second half of your innings with the ball in hand is concerned, what went wrong, if you could put a finger on it?
For the last 10 overs was I think the Bangladesh batsman was batting really well, but Malaysia bowler was bowling is everywhere, and so many extra and no ball and short ball everything. But we will come back more stronger than this and focus on the next game.
And finally, did the surface change when you were batting as well?
Yep, I should stay more longer than this one. When I stay longer, I can put more run on the scoreboard. So,
hard luck today, Mas. All the best for the next one.
Okay, thank you.
MALAYSIA, the captain who came second. Let's quickly have a chat with the winning skipper, Lata Mondol. Well, congratulations, Lata, on the win first up. What did you think of 149? You must be happy with it on a surface of this kind.
হ্যাঁ, আমরা আসলে খুশি। আমাদের টার্গেট ছিল 140 রান। সো এটা আসলে আমাদের জন্য নেক্সট ম্যাচের জন্য আরো অনেক বেশি ভালো হবে।
Yeah, we are here. We are happy to play out the batsman. That the way that the batter played, that she is happy.
The way you changed spin and pace, it looked relentless versus Malaysia. What was your plan there? Because Marufa was phenomenal, and then you said you take a break, the spinners will come on. What was the plan?
আমার প্ল্যান যেটা ছিল, আমি জানি আমার টিমে খুব ভালো স্পিনার আছে, তো আমি চেষ্টা করছি ওইটাই অনেক সুন্দরভাবে কাজে লাগানোর জন্য।
We have a plan that we have more spinners, so according to the condition, we are using more spinners.
Well, very well played, and you read the conditions beautifully as well. It's a good start for you. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
The winning skipper, Lata Mondol. It's time to give away some silverware. I request Mr. Shamsa Jamreen to be ready with that beautiful glitzy trophy as it belongs to the player of the match. And that for today would be Murshida Khatoon for a fantastic 57 of 44. Absolutely brilliant the way she paced the innings with wickets falling around her. It was just magnificent to watch Murshida grow from strength to strength.
His prepare himself to going to the team plan. According to the team plan, she goes to the just follow that.
With wickets falling around her, it was important for her to pace her innings brilliantly, is what we mentioned. At what point of time did she believe that a partnership has been struck and now it's time to kick into the next gear?
Just carry kursi single just একটা partnership. That's why.
So he's trying to play singles and using bad balls and make the partnership bigger.
Very well played, and the trophy looks good on you. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
That's Murshida Khatoon, the player of the match. A big thank you to Mr. Shamsa Jamreen for joining us, and that's all we got for you from the post-match presentation. We'll meet you tomorrow with a double header as the action continues here at the Tim Kwong Recreation Cricket Ground.
maximum कुछ दे देना चाहे